test. One, two, three. Well, you'd think with the 4th of July over, fireworks and celebrations have ended. But with a star-studded lineup, literally stars on their back tonight, the Cropdusters have a chance to add some more wins to their record, and a big one over the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts. Olney sits second, Silver Spring-Takoma sits third. And even more so, we have fireworks after the game. It's going to be a star-packed, jam-packed, fire-packed show, and we're so excited to share it with you. Alongside Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick King. And Ben, you said right before we went live, let's go. A lot of excitement between you and me leading up to this game. It's been like Christmas Day almost, something to look forward to on the Cropdusters schedule. How excited are you for the contest tonight?
I mean, yeah, I'm really excited. You know, I think one of the first things we both heard was that about this July 5th fireworks game. It was, brought to us, it's this big event where fans come and there's a big community, showing, and it's this great vibe. And it certainly was one of the things we looked forward to the most. And now it's here, and, we're still having more fans trickling in. The parking lot is certainly ready for more, and it's everything we hoped for, and just seeing it come alive is so exciting.
It's extremely exciting. Ben, you and I had to park not in our normal spots. We tend to park right across from each other. We're behind a different field. The parking lot is going to be packed. The stands are already filling up. We have not seen a crowd like this all year, and might not for the remainder of this season. We hope we do. It's a lot more lively when we have this many people coming in. But a truly impressive lineup that the Cropdusters have put out, their best so far this season. And we've been told that by all the entire coaching staff. This is what we would expect to see with a postseason team. And right now the Cropdusters, although they lost their last contest to the Bethesda Big Train, look postseason ready.
That they do. They've been playing really, really good baseball. The pitching has been good, and today should just carry that with using 3 of their best tonight. And we're looking forward to seeing the pitching staff, because the hitting's been good, but without the excellent job by the pitching staff, especially kind of in those dog days of mid-June when the hitters were not really backing them up. The pitchers were keeping the games close, and now we're seeing the hitters wake up and the pitching stay great.
The pitching has been very consistent recently, which has been something that has almost been on and off for this team. Even against the Big Train, pitching for the most part was very solid. Zach Szabo came out for 4 innings, allowed just 1 earned run. A really impressive performance from him. But we have a couple all-stars taking the mound for the Cropdusters tonight, a couple all-stars on the field. It's exciting, in all honesty. This is really a eye test for us as to what this team could look like 3 weeks down the road when postseason play comes to the Cal Ripken League. Right now, Olney sits with 14 wins, 11 losses. They're 4 games back behind the Bethesda Big Train in the North Division. They sit at second place. Silver Spring-Takoma is 12-10. They're a half game back of the Cropdusters, so winner here takes that second place spot for the time being. So a lot on the line outside of just the pure excitement surrounding the fireworks. Did you get a chance to see some fireworks yesterday? I know you have not been in the DMV before for the July 4th. Any luck finding those?
That I did. Got to a great place, and really fun seeing fireworks, and it's nice to see the community always goes out. Basically from ages 2 to 90 plus. It seems like everyone, for the most part, is just mesmerized by some great fireworks. Hope it's the same tonight.
And as they do their lineups, our PA announcer that being, we're going to get through our lineups as well, starting with the visiting Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts. Leading off playing short, it's Josh Erd. Second spot, the center fielder, it's Caleb Sturdivant. 3-hole, it's Henry Steen, the designated hitter. Clean up, it's Vance Bonga, the catcher. Left fielder, Jack Herta following him. Braden Foster, the first baseman, next up. Ryan Quadros, the right fielder in the 7-hole. Jack McCarthy at the hot corner in the 8th spot and rounding out the lineup. Second leadoff, it's Matthew Kim, the second baseman. And Ben, tell us about this star-studded Cropdusters lineup.
You say star-studded, and boy, do I agree. I mean, you look at the first 3 players on this lineup, all 3 of them are all-stars. You got Zakai Hawkins, shortstop, all-star, batting first. Cade Walter, left fielder, all-star, batting second, who's been amazing. Jimmy Kirk, DH, also an all-star, batting third. Andrew Kell, batting right, playing right and batting fourth. Walker Zampella, who's been huge last couple of weeks, batting fifth and playing second base. Austin Stalker, batting sixth and playing first base. And Carter Ritchie, a little bit lower in the order, batting seventh, the catcher, of course. Aiden Fry, playing third base and batting eighth. And then Brian Scott, who's kind of the classic double leadoff hitter, is playing center field and batting ninth.
Pitching for the Cropdusters tonight, starting off, is Glenn Smith. Pitched to the home opener, which was probably the biggest home game outside of this one, and gets the call tonight for Olney. We're going to step aside for the national anthem. We'll be back with the first pitch momentarily.
Tonight we have a special treat. We have Council Member Dom Lutkey, representing District 7, so the Montgomery County Council, serving the Upper East Side of the county, sits in the Public Safety and Health and Human Services Committees of the Council and has led the crisis response. Dawn also chairs the county's Criminal Justice Coordinating Commission and serves on the Human Trafficking Prevention Committee and Board of Social Services. She was appointed by Governor Moore to the task force to ensure the safety of judicial facilities and also serves on the Metropolitan Washington Council of Government's Emergency Preparedness Council. She's the mother of 4 children, 2 dogs, a baseball fan, and we're told a musical theater nerd.
And here we go. Cropdusters take the field. It's Glenn Smith on the bump for Olney so far this season. Smith has been one of the better arms for the Cropdusters, righty out of Richmond. He's appeared in 6 games, started 3 of them. He's tossed 18 innings, allowed 18 hits, 7 earned runs. He's walked 7, struck out 14, an 0-1 record to go alongside his 3.50 ERA.
And for Glenn Smith, already the innings leader for the Cropdusters, pretty comfortably with 18. And he's, he does have 14 strikeouts, but he's not kind of that traditional strikeout pitcher. He's going to pitch to contact, and you're going to see a lot of ground balls for especially the left side of the infield in Hawkins and Fry. Fry still, getting used to that third base position, at least for the Cropdusters. We've seen a lot of R.J. Cromartie there. We've seen, Angel Santiago Cruz there as well. But they're sticking with Fry, and they just want his bat in the lineup, putting him to third base to make it so, because Zampella has earned his way to second base.
Did that a lot with those 2 home runs the other day at the Gaithersburg Giants. Fry, not as sure a fielder as Cromartie, but only going with the batting strength that Fry possesses. You and I were wondering whether or not Luke Kiefer might get a chance at third. They go with Fry.
And Will Henson as well, who has been a key part of this lineup. We've seen him in a lot of games. Just no place for him. It's kind of that simple. So he gets the day off, at least for now. Maybe he'll feature later in the game.
It's a good problem to have, though, if you're the Cropdusters. All these guys that you could plug into these holes and feel relatively comfortable at this point in the season. More positions are a little easier to determine, Carter Ritchie being one of them. All-star catcher, hitting over 300. Has been stellar for Olney all season. Cade Walter in left. He's become a staple every day. And here we go. Top of the first from First Responders Field. Cropdusters wearing an alternate American-themed jersey. Has the flag on the shirt. Regular pants. Top of the first, righty-righty matchup. Smith on the mound, Erd at the dish. Fastball, called strike 1. Outside part of the plate. A little bit of a generous call already, Ben.
Quite generous. That's going to be something to watch because that pitch was at least 6 inches outside.
Smith delivers an off-speed, called strike 2. Low and away, coats the corner. Josh Erd already down 0-2.
2 pitches not necessarily in the strike zone, at least according to our track man.
Smith from the windup delivers. Breaking ball away. Well into the lefty batter's box. It's 1-2.
But not a bad idea trying to play off that big zone. Maybe Erd thinking a little bit about that outside corner. Throw it a couple more inches away. Try to get a chase.
A ball and 2 strikes. Fastball called. Strike 3. Glenn Smith already in a groove. Has his first strikeout of the night. There's 1 gone, nobody on here in the top of the first.
And that pitch was even more far away than the first one. You saw it sounded like a broken record on 3 of those 4 pitches, but man, this is as big of a zone as we've seen early on, something that we'll see both pitchers definitely try to take advantage of.
Caleb Sturdivant, next man up. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike, upper part of the plate. It's 0-1. Sturdivant, an interesting player to put in that 2-hole. Only batting .027 on the season. 1 hit and 37 at-bats. Fastball from Smith well outside, evens the count, a ball and a strike.
He does have a .345 on-base percentage, which is not great but impressive for how low the average is.
Breaking ball called, strike 2. It's that keen eye of Sturdivant that's allowed him to get on base so much. It's not paying him dividends so far. He's taken a pair of strikes, has just 1 left. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball away. Levels the count, 2-2.
As we know, a lot of these teams swap their roster every day. Seems like that the Cropdusters might be catching a bit of a break. Some of the hottest hitters or most successful hitters for the Bolts are not in the lineup today.
2-2 fastball. Bounces in the dirt, throw to first in time. Sturdivant went around. 2 men up, 2 down, both on strikes. There's nobody on. Still a scoreless contest here in the top of the first. And you said it, Ben. David Votso, one of the premier hitters for this Thunderbolts team, batting over 300, not in the lineup today. An odd 9 out there for Silver Spring-Takoma.
Steve Thomas, another guy hitting over 300. We've seen Aiden Driscoll. He leads the team with 18 walks, not in the lineup today.
First pitch to Henry Steen is a called strike. Fastball outer corner. Steen taking his first at-bat of the season tonight. Breaking ball skips on home plate. Into the glove of Ritchie. He tosses it back to Smith. It's 1-1. Chopper right back to Smith. Toss in time, and the inning.
I had a dream where I was actually throwing BP to Will Henson and Tyler Cook. Tyler Cook, unfortunately, hit a homer off of me, but don't doubt the commentator's loyalty. It's it's not even. Some would say it's only 12 hours a day or 16 hours a day. For us, it's 24 hours. We sleep only Cropdusters. Even get better there.
We really do. We've become experts on this team over the past 25 games.
And it really seems like we've seen different arcs of this team, kind of similar to maybe a TV show had the beginner arc where it started pretty well and kind of knocked down on their, their backs a little bit. But we've seen them just consistently and kind of on this upward trajectory where they've gotten a little bit better every day. They've taken better at bats, and you've just seen that progress. That is exactly the point of this summer league of these college players trying to improve and work on things, and you're seeing it happen in real time, and that's been one of the joys of the summer for me.
Now batting for your Cropdusters. The
Bottom of the first, Sakai Hawkins leading up
Sakai Hawkins.
for Olney. It's John Darmarkey on the bump for the Thunderbolts. First pitch, fastball away, called strike.
And that one, I mean, wow. I'm all for a consistent zone, but you can't be consistent if it's a foot outside. There's got to be a limit.
Breaking ball skips on home plate, evens the count 1-1. Don Markey making his fifth start tonight. He's tossed 17 innings, has allowed no earned runs, so he has a perfect ERA. Opponents hitting just 121 against him. Fastball fouled straight back, makes it 1-2 to Hawkins. Also the whip, extremely impressive for the lefty on the bump. Don Markey has a .590 whip. Hawkins down 1-2. Pitch, breaking ball, low and away. Evens the count 2-2.
I don't think he was helped out there by his catcher, Bonnier. That was actually a very solid pitch, better than some pitches that were called to strike. However, didn't really frame it or catch it in a very enticing way for the umpire.
2-2 skips in the dirt. Works the count full 3-2. Don Markey has only walked
just three, right? I believe.
just 3 batters this season. Payoff pitch to Hawkins. In the dirt, make it 4.
Batting next to left fielder, number 6 from Jacksonville University.
Leadoff man on for Olney.
Another situation where that pitch actually had some plate. Bonnier did not catch it right. He kind of put his glove down instead of just presenting it like the pitch it actually was, which was a strike. So we talked about how the zone was so big. The Markey kind of getting a little squeezed.
First pitch, Walter skies it back. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup between Don Markey and Walter. Walter batting .351 this season, was selected as an All-Star, will participate in that game on July 9th. Breaking ball snaps in the zone, makes it 0-2.
And we've been talking about how in many games it seems like the Cropdusters don't necessarily get the ace or get the best pitcher against them. That's not the case today at all, which is important. That's what they want.
Off speed, dips in the righty batter's box. It's 1-2. Curveball with a lot of break, just cannot find the zone. It's Hawkins on first, nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless contest. Walter rolls it over, right side, out of play. Still 1-2.
And of course, we're not trying to imply that the Cropdusters are frustrated that they get, maybe easier opposition. But it's the fact that they have announced themselves as a team that needs to be taken seriously, and it's nice to see them get, a team's best against them.
Off goes Hawkins, ground ball over to second base. Kim scoop. He'll retire Walter. Hawkins safe at second. Runner in scoring position with one gone for Jimmy Kirk. Don Markey already in a bit of a squeeze. Speedster Hawkins on second, and Jimmy Kirk, another all-star for the Cropdusters, stands in the batter's box. Righty-lefty matchup, Kirk the righty. Don Markey takes the signal from Bonnier, now comes set. Checks on Hawkins at second. Pick-off. Nice pick by Matthew Kim. Throw over, skipped in the dirt. Nearly tailed into center field. Don Markey will focus his attention on Kirk, who last appeared, Ben, on June 28th. It's been a while since we've seen Olney's designated hitter.
They'll certainly have no complaints with him back in the lineup.
First pitch breaking ball, called strike. 69 miles an hour. Throw down to second to try and get Hawkins. It sails into center field. Vance Bonnier, a rough start to his night. Hawkins takes over at third. One out.
Hawkins likes to create chaos on the bases, and Bonnier play right into his hand there. Have to be a little bit more composed as the catcher. Hawkins is running back to the bases. No point in making that throw. But now there's a runner on third for the Cropdusters' best hitter.
0-1 pitch. Kirk skies it. Right side out of play. He's down 0-2. A strikeout would be key here for Don Markey.
I mean, it's hard to understate how good he's been this year, Don Markey. No runs in 17 innings obviously is amazing. Only one extra base hit. He's averaging around 1.5 walks per 9. Just in an offensive heavy league, to see someone be this dominant, it's quite impressive. I mean, opponents are hitting well below 200 against him.
And it's not like he's doing this against the Giants and Braves of the league. He's tossed 2 outings against the Big Train, top team, where he's allowed no earned runs and just 1 hit.
And this isn't one of those situations of what we've seen from some other teams. Maybe it's 9 unearned runs and no earned. He's got 3 unearned runs, but only 7 walks. I mean, only 7 hits and 3 walks. Only 10 base runners in 17 innings.
1-2 pitch to Kirk. Breaking ball. Low and in. Evens the count. 2-2. That ball was close to being on the lower part of the zone. Bonnier again flipping his glove. He's struggling to catch early. 2-2 pitch. Kirk up the middle. On the run. Erd from short. Bobbles it. Kirk safe at first. Cropdusters up 1-0.
Great job knowing the situation by Jimmy Kirk. Gets a fastball with too much plate and just puts it in play with the infield back. And weird hop, kind of a new field, so Erd obviously not expecting that. It bounced all the way up, then it hits kind of the edge of the grass and just goes straight down. Makes it an impossible play for you as a shortstop.
Big lead from Kirk at first, about 12 feet off the bag. Andrew Kell in the righty batter's box. Pickoff of Kirk, he's safe. Aggressiveness from Olney's designated hitter. Kell at the dish. First pitch, up and away, 1-0. Cropdusters up 1-0 thanks to a Jimmy Kirk RBI single. He's on first. There's just 1 out. Andrew Kell at the plate. Fastball. Upstairs line, evens it, 1-1.
Kell started the year slow, then he was scorching hot for 2 weeks. Still hitting solid, but not the same, basically automatic on base that he was for those kind of 2-week stretch starting 3 weeks ago.
He has a 10-game hitting streak, but those early parts he was going 2 for 4, 3 for 5. Had a 4-hit game in the mix. 2-1 pitch, ground ball. Kim at second, flips to Erd at short. Throw back to first. In time. 4-6-3 double play ends the inning, but not before. The Cropdusters strike first. It's 1-0 only as we head to the top of the second.
And the first run of the day again has gone the Cropdusters' way. Something that, you know, even when they were getting wins earlier in the year, often it was come from behind. But they've done a really nice job recently of starting ahead or getting an early run and having their pitching hold it up.
We will all enjoy an amazing fireworks extravaganza following the game.
We talked about it in the beginning of the year, the walks kind of being the killer for this pitching staff. They've seemed to flip a switch and have started really pounding the zone, and Smith is one of the main, you know, components of that.
One of the more accurate pitchers, obviously no Zachary Harris, who is far and away the team leader in strike-to-ball ratio. Nearly 3 strikes for every ball he tosses. Smith, a little bit lower of a rate. One and a half strikes for every ball for Smith. Top of the second, Cropdusters already up 1-0 thanks to a Jimmy Kirk RBI single that knocked in Zakai Hawkins. Glenn Smith out for his second inning of work. Righty went 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. He'll be facing 4-5-6 for Silver Spring-Takoma. Vance Bonnier, the catcher, leading things off, who struggled in the field in the first inning. Sailed the ball into center field, trying to pick off Zakai Hawkins at second. A chance to right some wrongs as he steps into the righty batter's box.
He did indeed struggle. And, you know, we saw him play some multiple positions. It's, you know, unclear if he's more catcher by necessity than catcher by trade.
He also pitches. Smith in motion. First pitch found back. Fastball. Bonnier just a little under it. It's 0-1. Bonnier, the team leader in batting average for Silver Spring-Takoma with a .324 stripe. Breaking ball from Smith misses upstairs, evens the count 1-1. Swing and a miss. 4-seamer from Smith is just too much. It's 1-2.
And Smith is not afraid to attack with his fastball in the zone.
Goes back to it, misses high. Trying to get Bonnier to chase, but with the heater well over his head. Silver Spring's catcher lays off. 2-2 count. Smith delivers just low. 3 straight fastballs from Glenn Smith, back-to-back, missing the plate. Payoff pitch to Bonnier. Fouled straight back. Another fastball. Upper part of the frame. Just got enough to stay alive. We'll do it all over again. 3-2. Nobody out, nobody on. Off speed. Skips in the lefty batter's box. Vance Bonnier, a leadoff walk. There's a runner on. Nobody out for the Thunderbolts. Brings in Jack Herta.
Good at bat from Bonnier, you know. Never necessarily saw the fastball that well, but able to do enough just to foul it off, foul it off, foul it off. Maybe sitting off speed, he got one, but able to take it in the dirt.
Herta, the first lefty we've seen. Foul tip on the fastball right into the glove of Ritchie. He's down 0-1.
Herta's another guy whose numbers don't necessarily jump off the screen.
Batting 196. Ball gets away from Ritchie. Bonnier takes second. Runner in scoring position. Nobody out for the Thunderbolts. They trail 1-0 here in the top of the second. Jack Herta a chance to even things up. Has 8 RBIs on the season. Smith steps off the rubber. Collects. Back on. Takes the signal from Ritchie. Kicks. Fires. Inside. Fastball near the knees of Jack Herta makes it 2-1. Fry in at third, expecting a potential bunt rather. 2-1 pitch misses low. Nearly on the plate. Hitters count to Jack Hurta. 3 balls and a strike.
We were just singing the praises of Glenn Smith and his ability to throw strikes, but you know, gotta battle now. Don't want to let the first 2 guys on via the free pass.
Fastball, outer part of the plate, called strike, evens, or rather fills the count 3-2.
Interesting, he kind of turned it up a little bit to 89. You usually see pitchers take a little bit off to throw a strike. If anything, Smith put a little bit on that fastball.
Pitching with anger. 3-2 pitch. Back to the fastball, misses low. Back-to-back walks for the Thunderbolts. It's Bonnier on second, Hurta on first. Brings in Braden Foster, one of the taller players on this Thunderbolts team. He stands 6'5". Looks even taller than that in the cleats.
And in those baseball pants, his legs look about, 5 feet by himself.
He's got 2 on in the lefty batter's box facing Smith, a righty. First pitch, low and in. It's 1-0. Glenn Smith having a hard time locating that fastball. Velocity staying consistent, high 80s. Just missing on the extremes of each corner. Cropdusters up 1-0 here in the top of the second. Swing and a miss. Smith back to the fastball. Locates. Foster swings through. It's 1-1.
Seems like Braden Foster really tried to jump on that fastball. If anything, a little bit ahead of it.
Foster batting 196 this season. Breaking ball well up and in. Foster leans back to get out of the way. Was near his head level. 2-1.
And of course Smith likes his fastball, but in that count where he was well ahead 1-2 and he stuck with the fastball consistently, that's always a sign that you don't necessarily feel the most comfortable with your breaking ball. He has really yet to get a feel for it today.
2-1 fastball, swing and a miss, in on the hands. Foster well over top, it's 2-2. Thunderbolts have not tallied a hit so far. Would be a key spot for their first. It's Bonnier on second, Hurta on first, nobody out. Smith steps off the mound, now comes back on. Fry still playing in at third. Two-two pitch. Skied left side, out of play. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Reared back a little bit, up to 90 with that one.
One of the faster pitches we've seen Smith throw. That's essentially his max. 2-2 count to Foster.
Although it is the second inning, Smith knows he doesn't have that much. This inning just 30s. He knows it's to be out for him.
2-2, line drive, right field, foul. Braden Foster working a nice at-bat. Has only struck out 10 times this season in 46 plate appearances, compared to 11 walks. That's a nice ratio. You want to see that throughout your lineup. Obviously, he wishes the average was higher, sitting below 200.
Smith continuing to attack with the fastball. He does shook off Richie. Interesting to see what he'll throw here.
2-2. Smith a long pause, now set. Kicks, fires, swinging, foul tip. Just enough on the breaking ball.
This has been an impressive at-bat from Foster. He just kind of daring Smith to throw that curveball. He's just trusting his number one and continues to throw it down.
3 straight fouls from Foster. Swing and a miss. Change up in the dirt. There's one gone here in the top of the second. Bonnier still on second. Hurta on first. Cropdusters up 1-0. Braden Foster down on strikes brings up Ryan Quadros.
Really nice changeup and a perfect, place to throw it. Could have came a little bit earlier in the at-bat, especially against a big lefty, but he waited on it and delivered a perfect pitch.
First pitch breaking ball up and out, 1-0. Really was a perfect pitch from Smith. He had a ball to work with. Had not shown the changeup all AB. Delivers a beauty low in the zone. Foster just couldn't lay off. Smith delivers another fastball. Was foul tipped into the glove of Ritchie. 1-1 count to Quadros. Swing and a miss. Quadros swings through another heater. It's 1-2.
And we discussed how much he likes to go to the fastball with 2 strikes. In this situation especially, Quadro was well late. No reason to not just throw it again.
Does toss it again, misses well high. Squares the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Unlike Foster, Quadros susceptible to the strikeout. He's went down 15 times via the K. Has only walked 4 times. 2-2, swing and a miss. Back to the fastball, Smith goes, and back to the dugout goes Quadros. There's 2 gone here in the top of the second. Cropdusters still up 1-0. That's 4 strikeouts already for Glenn Smith. Bryce Curry, next man in, batting 103 on the season. He's got 2 men on with 2 outs. Bonnier on second, Herta on first. First pitch, breaking ball. In frame, it's 0-1.
So far, you haven't seen this Thunderbolts lineup show that they can hit Smith. Only 2 base runners have gotten on by the walk, but he has been pretty in control when he's in the zone.
Double take on Bonnier. Smith now fires home. Check swing. Did not go around. Evens the count, 1-1.
But I like that pitch. He goes to the changeup against the righty. We haven't really seen him do that much. Looks like a fastball out of the zone and then drops farther in. This gives the hitter a different look as well.
A ball and a strike. Fry finally backs off at third. Pitch to Curry is up. Makes it 2-1.
Once again, that breaking ball, it's kind of sliding it, not necessarily getting all the way on top and snapping it down. It's coming around it just a little bit too much.
2-1 count. Smith kicks, fires, ground ball, right side. Zampella dives. It's into right field. Bonnier rounding third. He's coming home. Throw from Cal. In time! Thunderbolts end the inning thanks to an Andrew Kell laser from right field. It's still a scoreless contest for the Thunderbolts. Cropdusters up 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second.
We've seen some great throws from Andrew Kell. He's just been a little bit unlucky with, good speed or just good jumps. But there, finally, a real chance to throw someone out. And boy, did he not, waste it. For a second, I thought Stalker was going to cut it off. Well done, though, from Carter Ritchie to say, let it go. And that's exactly what he did. Went right past Stalker's glove. Perfect one-hop throw right into Ritchie, who made a nice tag. And the Cropdusters, keep the Thunderbolts scoreless.
The Cropdusters have been on the wrong side of a lot of those outfield assists. Finally get one to go their way in a key showdown tonight against Silver Spring-Takoma.
And, Cropdusters looking for more of the same. Zakai Hawkins set the blueprint. Of course, Domoraki, not someone who gives up a lot of walks, but as Hawkins proved, you stay patient, you foul off some tough pitches, and of course there are still ways for you to get on base via the free pass. Zampella, though, who's going to lead off for the Cropdusters, he's not up there to walk, he's up there to mash.
Don Markey back on the bump for his second inning of work as we are in the bottom of the second. Cropdusters up 1-0. Walker Zampella will lead things off for Olney.
Now batting for your Cropdusters, the second
Power hitter for the Cropdusters, leads the team with 3 home runs.
Zampella!
Don Markey, a lefty. Zampella stands in the right-handed batter's box. He has the advantage there. Don Markey from the windup. First pitch breaking ball low, 1-0.
Not the first time we've seen a slow breaking ball against the Cropdusters. That one's 68.
Fastball skied right field. Drifting back is Quadros at the wall, makes the catch. Ball carried 311 feet before it was tracked down by Ryan Quadros in right. There's one gone. Here in the bottom of the second, brings in Austin Stalker. Lefty-lefty matchup, nobody on. Infield back for Silver Spring-Takoma. First pitch rolled over. Diving play by Foster at first. It's Kim instead. Throws to Don Markey, who covers the bag. And just like that, there are 2 gone.
Breaking ball away. Stalker, we've seen him try to abandon that straight pull, which has been so important for him. That time, though, just ahead of the breaking ball, not looking to go the other way. It's tough to really get anything on a low and away, sweeping breaking ball as a lefty, unless you're trying to go the other way with it.
That's been a problem for Stalker all season. We saw him more recently go the opposite way. That time tries to pull and is retired. Brings in Carter Ritchie, another all-star for Olney. First pitch fastball was called a strike, 0-1 count. Don Markey fires, breaking ball away, evens it up 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, Kirk skies it, shallow right. Back goes Foster from first. Looks over his shoulder, can't make the catch. Drops about 4 feet in front of him. 1-2 count.
And Ritchie, of course, started the year as the powerhouse for the Cropdusters. He was hitting, well above 500. Now his role on the team is not as quote unquote, important or needed, which is a good thing because you've seen good performances from Walter and Scott and Kirk and Hawkins, which has allowed him to, not have all the pressure on him. He's still hitting very well, 300 average, 875 OPS.
1-2 pitch, fastball up. He is not a guy, you're right, Ben, that hits for a lot of pop, and he went through a bit of a cold streak. Has started to heat back up, has a full count as the breaking ball skips on home plate. There was a stretch there where he had 3 hits and 17 at-bats. Now on a 3-game hitting streak. Puts his average at a perfect 300. Payoff pitch with 2 gone, nobody out. Don Markey fires, misses low. 2 walks so far from Silver Spring-Takoma's lefty. John Don Markey had only walked 3 batters in 17 innings coming into tonight. He's now walked a pair of Cropdusters, brings in the 8-hitter, Aiden Fry, with a runner on first, 2 gone. Only up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Back-to-back right-handed batters for the Cropdusters.
And last thing I'll say about Ritchie, despite the power not being there, he has been opportunistic. 15 RBI, which leads the team. Even recently, he's had some clutch hits, mainly singles, but in key situations.
Ritchie, just 1 extra base hit on the season, was a home run. First pitch to Fry was fouled back, so he has an 0-1 count. Don Markey Fires a breaking ball. Ground ball short. Tossed to second. Kim makes the catch. Inning over. Cropdusters have just one base runner, but nothing more. We head to the top of the third. Olney still up. 1-0.
Hey fans, it's now time for our kids dusting the bases.
And this is going to be
First base, let's watch as our
crop duster tradition. Kids run the bases, but man, this is probably the biggest crowd we've got. So this could take a while, like we discussed. As the kids just keep on, running.
I want to see the contest that we have with race coach Hyder later on.
Oh yeah. One down.
second, she's okay.
There's one kid out there running next to his little sister playing Big Brother. You love to see
Yeah,
that.
you do.
They just keep coming.
Huh, one kid at second base is in no rush at all. He is just walking. He's strutting. He's
Taking it all in.
not phased at all.
Looks like he's repping a J.J. Hardy t-shirt.
I'm getting some like 1917 vibes when, everyone's running one way and he's just going the other way as he got bumped around a little bit, but, got back up and
Second on the way to
He is really taking his time.
oh. And I think that might be his is that his
Is
potential
that
father?
his dad coming to get him?
No, that guy, it's just the guy who's running.
Thank you again to Panda House.
Gives a high five, but he took his time. A little model walk around the bases.
And you know what? We're talking about him. We're not talking about any other kids. So he knew what he was doing, getting the spotlight.
He got it all, getting a bunch of high fives. Top of the third here from First Responders Field. Glenn Smith back out for his third inning of work through 2 frames. He's allowed just 1 hit and has struck out 4 as Olney leads Silver Spring-Takoma 1-0. He'll be going up against 9 and then top of the order 1 and 2. Matthew Kim leading off for the Thunderbolts, followed by Josh Erd and Caleb Sturdivant. Righty-righty matchup to get us started. Smith struggled with locating that fastball in the second. We'll see if he gets it under control here in the third. First pitch fastball, hard line drive down the line, base hit. Kim rounds first. He'll stay there. Nice cutoff from Walter and left. Runner on first, nobody out. Leadoff base knock for the Thunderbolts brings in Josh Erd and the top of the order.
Aggressive swing and also aggressive. Initially taking a heavy turn, but if there's anyone you don't want to test other than Kel, who's already made it one after the assist, it would be Walter and left, who has just as good of an arm.
Fry playing in on third, first pitch to Erd. Called strike, breaking ball, lower part of the plate, 0-1. Smith paused, now fires. Ground ball past Fry at third, base hit. And we talked about it, Ben. Aiden Fry, not the most accustomed to playing at the hot corner. A hard bounce right over his glove. Likely a play that on R.J. Cromartie or an Anel Santiago Cruz can get at least some leather on. Instead, back-to-back base knocks for the Thunderbolts means 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the third.
Fry playing a little bit in, expecting the bunt, and then with that ball off the bat, it looked like it was gonna be hit harder. Really was not that well of a hit ball. Only 68 miles an hour. Had some backspin. I don't think that Fry ever saw it well. I think he was gonna come at it. He was expecting it to come at him a little bit harder than it did. In reality, 68 miles an hour that's not a well hit ball. Something that he should be able to get in front of.
Could not. Glenn Smith in early trouble as a result. It's Kim on second, Erd on first. Caleb Sturdivant at the plate with a 1-0 count. First pitch breaking ball missed out of frame. Smith set. Kicks, fires, fastball, swing and a miss. It was right down Broadway. Sturdivant swings over top of it. Evens the count, 1-1.
And obviously irrelevant because of the throw by Kel, but Smith has allowed 3 straight hits. Someone who has looked really in control despite the walks, he's starting to get hit around just a little bit. He's going to have to remain composed to try to get these last 3 outs.
Breaking ball, swung through once more. Sturdivant having a hard time seeing the pitch out of Smith's hands. It's 1-2. Smith has been hit around a little bit all season. Opponents roping. Check swing. He went around. Not even appeal from the first base umpire. Home plate umpire calls Caleb Sturdivant out. 5 strikeouts now for Glenn Smith. There's one gone, brings in Steve Thomas. Designated hitter for the Thunderbolts. First pitch, ground ball. Stalker bobbles it at first, now races to the bag. Retires Thomas. 2 outs. Both runners advance. There's 2 in scoring position. 2 outs for Vance Bonnier.
And you sort of grimace when you see him initially bobble that, but Smith's got to be at first base regardless of that or not, because if he makes a throw to second, the only person who's going to be able to cover first there is Smith. Worked out a little bit, fortunately, that they were able to get any outs on that play.
Bonnier a chance to tie things up for the Thunderbolts, if not take the lead. First pitch outside, 1-0.
And I'm going to circle that Sturdivant K. The guy is hitting under 020, which is, you rarely see that. And, batting second, it just sort of a black hole in the lineup, and you get 2 guys on. That's what, when you have someone whose just numbers are really struggling, a good situation, maybe drop down a bunt, but he swings ahead and strikes out in what was a relatively easy out for Smith.
And it's not like the Thunderbolts don't have bats. Some of their guys that are hitting over 300, David Votso, Tyson Gill, both not in the lineup tonight. 3-0 pitch to Bonnier. Smith obviously okay with walking the team's leading batter. Fastball called strike, makes it 3-1. And you can even have a Nolan Cutney in there, and he's not even playing with a 271 stripe. Back-to-back fastballs. That one fouled off. Works the count full. 3-2. 2 outs. Payoff pitch. Top of the third. Cropdusters up 1-0. It's Kim on third. Erd on second. Claps begin to crescendo. Pitch. Rolled over. Right side foul. Still a full count, 3-2.
And that's a nice pitch on 3-2. Not giving in. First base is open, like you said. Smith not someone who has a lot of walk issues, so he does have that ability to use that free base if he wants. I think throwing a pitch that's borderline in the zone is a great way to attack a talented hitter.
Smith steps off. Now collects, obviously. Big pitch to a talented hitter, one of the best in the league in terms of batting average. Full count. Line drive, right field, line. Stalker corrals it at first, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. Silver Spring-Takoma strands another 2 base runners. Make it 4 on the night. They're still scoreless. Cropdusters up 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third.
Well, if that's it for Smith, then job well done. 3 innings against a talented lineup. Worked around some damage. I mean, it wasn't, certainly not a perfect outing. He gave up base runners, but able to make pitches when he had to. That's a good example. He was down 3-0, works his way back, but does not completely give in. Continues to pitch his game, throw good pitches, and gets the out. So, Nick, we are through 2.5 on this special day. What do you think so far?
Honestly, Ben, I'm waiting for more people to show. We've been talking about 8,000 being here, and there's a lot of people. I don't see 8,000, though.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see more in the outfield, maybe later as people eat dinner and then come here more, partially for baseball, maybe a little bit more for fireworks. But yeah, I certainly.
Obviously, people that just come for the fireworks can start shuffling into the parking lot at 7:30. It's 7:22 now, so maybe we'll see more people lined in the outfield. But they were talking about it like it was a sea of people out in right field. Just a few specks here and there. We'll see how the stands fill up as the night progresses. Bottom of the third here from First Responders Field. Cropdusters up 1-0. But it's Brian Scott leading things off for Olney. 9-hitter for the Cropdusters going up against John Dom Markey, who's out for his 3rd inning of work. Lefty on the bump, righty in the batter's box. To get us started, nobody on, nobody out. Dom Markey from the windup, kicks, fires, first pitch breaking ball, well high and away, 1-0. Top of the order, due up for the Cropdusters. It's Zakai Hawkins in the on-deck circle. 1-0 pitch to Scott. Fastball, upstairs part of the plate, 1-1. Breaking ball, line straight back, makes it 1-2. Scott hitting .286 on the season. Really an impressive hitter considering he's in that 9 spot. But the speed, he's essentially a second leadoff. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, skips away from Bonnier. Levels the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Scott getting the nod as the center fielder in what is, supposed to be the full-strength lineup for Olney. Little look ahead.
2-2 lined right side, out of play. With the absence of Ahmad Duff for the remainder of the season, Brian Scott, the only true center fielder left for the Cropdusters. We've seen Coy Swanson out there, Cade Walter out there, but Scott, a sure-handed fielder and a really nice hitter. Lines another off-speed pitch to the right side. Still foul, will do it all over again. 2-2 pitch, nobody out, nobody on to Brian Scott. Dom Markey has yet to record a strikeout tonight. Shakes off Bonnier, now begins his motion. Rolled over to the left side. Throw in time. Nice play from Bryce Curry at third. Braden Foster a little stretch at first to make the play. Regardless, leadoff man retired. Brings in the top of the order for the Cropdusters. Zakai Hawkins standing in.
And Hawkins looked so comfortable in his first at-bat. And it's no surprise. He's someone that likes off-speed pitching, and especially when it's a lefty who's off-speed dominant, that curveball is going to look very good to Hawkins, going to come right towards his barrel.
First pitch, breaking ball away, makes it 1-0. And we've been talking a lot about slow starts, Ben, but nobody more than Zakai Hawkins went 1 for his first 12, is now hitting .280, and has been elected an all-star. Quite the turnaround for a man that just finished his freshman season at Utah. He's got a 1-1 count. Line drive, third base side, Curry ricochets off his glove behind him. Hawkins safe. 100 miles off the bat, too much for Bryce Curry to handle. Knocked it down, could not field it cleanly. Zakai Hawkins, an infield single. Runner on first with 1 away, brings in Cade Walter.
And Hawkins has just been so consistent with getting on base.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Walter, first pitch swinging. Fouled straight back. He's down 0-1. Walter in his second at-bat tonight Both times he swung and fouled off the first pitch. Breaking ball rolled over first base side. Foster, throw to Erd at second, back to first, not in time. Fielder's choice retires the lead runner. Walter takes over at first base. 2 gone with a runner on for Jimmy Kirk.
A little bit fortunate there. Erd had the ball stuck in his glove. He has a double clutch. Still a close play. I think if he gets that out right away, the inning is over.
That's a tough call. Walter can absolutely fly. One of the team leaders in stolen bases with 14. Looks like we might get an appeal.
Maybe some
See
discussion.
if Hawkins slid into second, interrupted the throw from Erd.
They are going to talk about it.
Umpires will convene. We haven't seen one of these overturned all season. I think it's more just to keep it on the radar of the umpires as we progress throughout the remainder of this contest. But that's such a hard call to make going back and thinking about it when you've already established that there was no interference.
Indeed.
Still a discussion going on. In the meantime, it's Jimmy Kirk who will step into the batter's box, designated hitter for the Cropdusters. Right-handed bat. One of 2 base knocks for Olney tonight has driven in the Cropdusters' lone run. Really long discussion. You got to wonder sometimes if they're talking about the play or just acting as if they're talking about it. It's the old joke when a worker goes to check for something in the back and they're really just standing back there for a minute or two to satisfy the customer.
Looks like they're going to coach leader, which might not be a good sign for the Cropdusters. Usually you make the call first before talking to the coach.
Leader visibly upset. And he's out. Unbelievable. The appeal pays off. The first time we've seen this overturned all season, the slide by Zakai Hawkins deemed too much and interrupting the throw. Cade Walter is not going into the dugout. He's still standing on first. Glenn Smith back on the rubber, so he will get 4 innings. But Adam Leader is fired up.
And Smith doesn't know what to do now. He's walking back in. I mean, the out is made. There's nothing else he can do. He's got to just get ready to go.
You can't double appeal. So interference from Hawkins. This is shocking. They rule him out. And Ben, a pretty underwhelming reaction from the crowd.
Well, I think the problem is they're so confused on what's going on.
Hey fans, we have a special birthday. Sarah Goforth is in the house. Let's say happy birthday. Fans, we also have special commemorative July 4th holiday Cropdusters t-shirts for sale. Head over to the Crop Shop while supplies last.
Strange. For sure.
So for those of you that might be a bit confused, Zakai Hawkins, when he was running from first to second and Foster threw over to try and turn the double play, the umpires ruled that Hawkins' slide was dangerous and nearly took out Josh Erd at short.
And also, you know, whatever impacting the play enough, which, you know, it's the thing is for me is that you have a great view as the umpire. see the necessity to, if you don't see it, I mean, obviously that's how it works, I guess, is that you talk to the umpires about it, but seems like you should be able to make that call on your own, and if you don't see it, you don't see it, but for whatever reason, maybe the home plate umpire had a better view, but he was right there.
A weird way to end the third. We're now in the top of the fourth. Glenn Smith, right-handed pitcher for the Cropdusters, has tossed a scoreless 3 innings, has been rewarded with the call to start the fourth. Jack Hurd, a left-handed batter, leading off for the Thunderbolts. They trail 1-0. Smith from the windup, kicks, fires, fastball right down Broadway, called strike 1. Smith quickly back to work. Changeup misses in, levels the count, a ball and a strike. Aiden Fry playing in at third base, 1-1 pitch. Fastball away, called ball, 2-1. Fastball skied straight back. 2-2. Herta walked his first time up. That came in the second inning. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, low and out. Works the count full, 3-2.
You gotta wonder how that weird timing thing played on Smith. Usually pitchers have the eternal clock, kind of got messed up.
3-2 fastball lined into center field. Brian Scott makes the play. There's one gone.
Well done from Smith. You know, he almost suffered from the leadoff walk in the second inning. This inning, making sure he was not going to do that. Trust his fastball, throws in the zone, and, you know, it's hit relatively hard, but like we often say, you throw strikes, good things happen.
Braden Foster, another lefty bat for the Thunderbolts, stands in. Nobody on with one gone. First pitch breaking ball in on the hands, just too much, 1-0. Smith back to work. Fastball rolled over into the first base dugout. He evens the count, a ball and a strike. Thunderbolts trail 1-0 here on the top of the fourth. Glenn Smith fires. Changeup. Skips on home plate. 2-1 to Foster. Four-seamer. Foul tip, straight back. Off the tip of Richie's glove. 2-2.
Smith feeling good. Kind of nodding his head. He's ready to let this one fly.
He's not taking any time between pitches. Already in motion again. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Left field line. Foul. We'll do it again. 2-2 with one gone.
And he snapped a breaking ball there. You know, a little interesting to see that. Maybe a bit of more of a setup pitch. Showed Foster the outside half, chance to get him inside with a fastball.
Swing and a miss. Went more inside, but a breaking ball. Braden Foster cannot locate. Changeup in the dirt. There's two gone here in the top of the fourth. Make it 6 strikeouts for Glenn Smith through 3 2/3.
Really nice pitch, and the same exact way he got Foster the last at bat, the diving changeup.
First pitch swinging by Ryan Quadros into left center field. On the run, Walter! Diving play! He does it again! Lays out, tracks it down from left field, and ends the top of the fourth in style. Still a 1-0 ball game as we head to the bottom half of the inning.
It's every game with this guy. He's always making some incredible play, and that one was all about the jump and the range. You know, by the time he got to the ball, if anything, he almost overran it just with how quick he got to that ball. You know, his ability to maximize his steps, it's, you know, reminds me of Pete Crow Armstrong a little bit in the major leagues. Just so efficient his routes, he's right on the money.
And he's just got the speed to do it. It's one thing to have the routes and to have the ability to track the ball, but the speed to chase it down, incredible.
Seriously. I mean, what an absolute boost it is having him in the outfield. We don't have, you know, our stats guy to the left of us often working hard. If only we don't have any outs above average or defensive runs saved stats yet. Don't doubt him. Maybe in a couple games, but man, if we did, I'd be interested to see where Cade Walter lined up, because he just makes some phenomenal plays. Even catch probability would be a start, because those under 10%, he's got a bunch of them.
Well, Ben does a lot with what he's been given.
That he does.
Owe him a lot of thanks. We sound a lot more knowledgeable than we really are thanks to Ben. He's pulling up reports on opposing pitchers prior to games, helping us out. Big shout out to him. Bottom of the fourth, Cropdusters lead 1-0. John Dom Markey out for another inning of work. He's allowed just 2 knocks through 3 frames. One of those came to Jimmy Kirk, who leads off 3-hitter for the Cropdusters. He stands in the righty batter's box. First pitch from the lefty. Breaking ball, called strike. Outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Breaking ball lined in the left. Herta on the run, can't get there. It drops right in front of him.
And
2 singles for Jimmy Kirk. Leadoff man on for the Cropdusters. Runner on first for Andrew Kell.
Just 69 miles an hour, and when you leave it up in the zone to a good hitter like that, I mean, it's going to cost you. You're not going to have success on a slow breaker like that if you leave it up and, you know, kind of middle. Maybe even lucky Jimmy Kirk wasn't able to launch it and get some air under it.
Kell down the left field line, base hit. Kirk rounding second, he's heading to third. Kell over to second base, Herta throw in, not in time. Back-to-back base knocks for the Cropdusters, Andrew Kell. A double into left. Attacks the first pitch fastball and extends his hitting streak to 11 games in the process. 2 men in scoring position with nobody out for Walker Zampella. A chance for Olney to really break this thing open.
Ambushing in this bottom of the fourth in a great spot here, like you said. Great chance to break it open.
Tom Markey, first pitch breaking ball, snaps in frame, 0-1.
And I understand Zampella taking that pitch, and definitely, but he gets that really slow curveball in the zone again. Great chance to kind of put your foot down a little bit early and just try to fly into the outfield.
Fastball misses out. Zampella has the ability to launch the ball. Definitely one of those guys that tends to sky it. Flew out his first time up. A bit of an upward swing. Fastball in on the hands, called strike. Beautiful location from Dom Markey. Makes it 1-2.
A lot of away, so that inside fastball definitely surprised Zampella. Good pitch. Got a battle now. Infield back. Just put the ball in play, you're going to get a run.
Corners are in. 1-2. Zampella thought about attacking the high breaking ball. Lays off. Works the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 men on, nobody out for the Cropdusters. They're up 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Fastball lined into right center, base hit. 1 run scores. Rounding third is Kell. He will score. It's 3-0 Olney. Walker Zampella knocks in a pair. Helps extend his team's lead.
All right, fans, let's make some noise for our first baseman, number 16 from
mistake from Dunmarkey there. And Zampella jumped all over it. Good job not over swinging. He was ready to sit back on the curveball, instead gets a fastball, but keeps the same approach, takes it the other way, right over the second baseman's head, like they always tell you, in the cage. Try to hit it over the second baseman's head. Great piece of hitting.
3 straight hits for the Cropdusters. Austin Stalker in the left-handed batter's box, trying to make it 4. He has a 1-0 count. First pitch breaking ball missed low. Swing and a miss. Ahead of the changeup. Big swing from Stalker. Evens it up 1-1.
Big swing indeed. Got to level, be a little bit more composed. Try to follow the approach of Zampella. Just trying to shoot something the other way.
Outside pitch. Stalker tries to pull. Instead fouls it straight back 1-2. He's had trouble pushing outside pitches the other way.
Just give it up and it a little bit too early. Got to sit back. Velo's not going to beat you.
Breaking ball, broken bat, infield pop-up. Erd in front of second base makes the catch. There's one gone. Still a runner on first for Carter Ritchie.
Yeah, it's surprising to me that Dunmarkey has as many strikeouts as he has. 14 and 17 innings obviously is not the best ratio, but yet to really see that strikeout pitch, that slider curveball mix. While they're both good pitches, I just don't see the ability for it to induce swing and misses. You got to be a lot of freezing hitters.
Really hasn't done it as the ball skips away from Bonnier. Zampella tries to take second. He's safe. Fastball. Low and inside, gets away from Bonnier. Great jump by Zampella. Runner in scoring position for Carter Ritchie. 1-0 count. Dunmarkey trying to keep this deficit for the Thunderbolts at 3. Ritchie trying to add to the Dusters' lead. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. There's one gone. Cropdusters on the attack. Zampella on second. Ritchie at the dish. Walked his first time up.
And Ritchie, a guy who likes to go the other way, great situation to do so.
Tried to pull that pitch right down the middle, instead got over top of it. 2-1. Uncharacteristic of Ritchie not to just drive it where it's been thrown. Just kind of swung out there.
Yeah, and we're not trying to say that we are so anti-pull. I mean, that's where the hitter's power is. And when someone's throwing, low 80s and it's the middle of the zone, you can understand the wanting to pull it to left field. But Ritchie is an all-field hitter.
He's lined a pair straight back-to-back heaters from Dunmarkey. Evens the count, 2-2. Aiden Fry looms in the on-deck circle. Carter Ritchie, a chance to make it 4-0 Dusters with Zampella on second. Dunmarkey set. Checks on Zampella, now heads home. Breaking ball up and out. Works the count full, 3-2.
And that breaking ball is just really not fooling these hitters. It's just up and away to righties. That is not where you want it. You want to bury it. Right now, the hitters are seeing it well. Either it's bending into the zone or not even making it that far.
Payoff pitch. Ritchie, foul tip. Right field, out of play. We'll do it all over again. Another fastball from Dunmarkey. It's really only that pitch, as you said, Ben, that has been able to find the frame. Breaking balls have missed high and away, low and in. No real consistency from the off speed. Dunmarkey fires another fastball. Ritchie skies it deep right center field. Back at the wall goes Quadros, makes the play. Just a few feet short from a home run. Zampella takes third on the sacrifice. That ball was launched and all the way at the warning track. Ryan Quadros makes the catch. Ritchie, we talked about it all at bat. That was a fastball outside. He drove it to right field. Just not enough distance. Runner advances. Aiden Fry at the plate. First pitch, fastball. Misses low and in. It's 1-0. Don Markey delivers another four-seamer. Low once more. Hitters count to Fry. 2 balls, no strikes.
And we talked about it pre-show. DeMarque is not a guy that is primarily fastball, but in this game, he's just been forced to do so.
Delivers a breaking ball, snaps in the zone, called strike. It's been the curveball that's been his best breaking pitch. Nasty drop on it late, but the changeup has really been inconsistent, and that seems to be his go-to. We talked about it prior to the game, but nearly 40% of his pitches so far this season entering the contest were changeups.
Yeah, and he just hasn't had that pitch today. He hasn't really had the curveball. It's too important for him not to throw it, but
2-2 changeup misses high. He's putting a lot of faith in his go-to pitch. It's just not paying off towards him. 3-2 count with 2 outs.
it has led to him throwing a lot more fastballs, which is not, I think, what he wants to do, and the Dusters are taking advantage of it.
Curveball skied, right field, foul. The benefit of having that changeup paired with low velocity from Don Markey is that you at least have some sort of break. Fastball, 83, that's just a streamlined pitch. Hitters are going to tap that. Called strike 3 to Fry. Fastball, lower part of the plate. It was low according to our strike zone. Don Markey surrenders another 2 thanks to a Walker Zampella base knock. Cropdusters lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the 5th.
Thank you so much for being here for Saturday Night Lights. The time to enjoy fastballs and fireworks and create all new summertime memories.
And
Again, the Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, Zips Cleaners.
we are going to see a pitching change. It's going to be
Chicken. Let's make some noise for your
Remo.
Cropdusters.
Remo's brother, Tori, in Domenico. And we were told to give a potential crop duster some hate. Remo, we know you're listening. So for those of you at home, Tori's brother, we were told was going to be a member of this crop duster team. We were excited to have him, but, understandably, MLB draft and whatnot, unable to make it. I don't know if that's a valid excuse for me.
Same with Charlie Buckles.
Yeah,
during the
come
whole
on.
Draft combine. Come on.
MLB draft? This is summer.
What is
This
that?
is only crop dusters. But we're lucky that we do have Tori in Domenico. He's been fun to watch all summer, and we're gonna get to see, more of him in a situation that he gets to come in with a lead. Not often where there's multiple pitchers that we've seen the Cardinals be able to go kind of star, but just going from Smith to Domenico is a fun 1-2 before whoever is last.
Tori and Domenico.
And Domenico, starter for the most part. He's appeared in 5 games, 4 which have been starts, has tossed 15 innings, allowed 13 hits and 2 earned runs walks, 6 struck out 9, a 1-1 record to go alongside his 1.20 ERA. Top of the 5th, Cropdusters up 3-0. New arm out for Olney, left-handed pitcher Tori and Domenico gets the call to replace Glenn Smith, who tossed 4 flawless frames. And Domenico trying to keep his team's lead at 3. He'll be going up against 8, 9, and top of the order. Bryce Curry stands in to lead things off. First pitch called strike. Fastball, lower part of the plate. It's 0-1. Infield back for the Cropdusters. Changeup misses out, evens the count, a ball and a strike.
And Domenico told us pregame that this is a game they want. They need this game. He is a excellent pitcher. He likes the big moment. Expect big things out of him.
Fastball line straight back. And Domenico looks extremely focused. Has not looked away from Carter Ritchie since he stepped on the mound. He's already back on the rubber, waiting on Curry. Now comes set. Kicks, fires, fastball, just misses. It's 2-2. We've seen that pitch called so far tonight, Ben. And Domenico doesn't get the gift from the home plate umpire. 2-2 pitch. Nobody on, nobody out. Heater line straight back. Will do it all over again.
He stayed with the fastball changeup mix against Curry. Interesting to see if he'll throw that slider, which is usually his put-away pitch. Obviously, it's more comfortable to throw it against lefties breaking out, but it's still a great pitch to righties.
Goes fastball. It's drilled out to center field. Scott drifts, makes the catch. One gone. Matthew Kim, next man in for the Thunderbolts. 9-hitter for Silver Spring-Takoma. Steps into the righty batter's box. He's 1 for 1 tonight. It's his first plate appearance against Domenico. Fastball misses low. It's 1-0.
But nice to see Domenico sitting at 90 miles an hour. Velocity has been a huge point of emphasis for him, and it's really grown since last summer.
A ball and no strikes. First time we've seen the slider in on the hands of Kim. Pulled it down the left field line into the Thunderbolts dugout. It's 1-1.
Well ahead of it as well. Not getting anything on that pitch except for that foul ball.
Infield still back for the Cropdusters. Swing and a miss. Fastball up and out. Kim late on it. Makes it 1-2. Nobody on for Silver Spring-Takoma with 1 gone already. Here in the top of the 5th, they trail by 3. One-two fastball. Bloop out to shallow right. Drifting is Kelly. Can't make the catch. In no man's land. About 20 feet into right field, down that line. Zampella was racing from second. Kell from deep right field. Neither fast enough to corral it. Matthew Kim has his second single of the contest. Top of the order, Josh Erd stands in.
And I think Domenico's going to be a little bit frustrated. You know, against Curry on a 2-2 pitch, he delivered a fastball pretty much right down the middle. It was flied out. But on that at bat, you know, he's well ahead of Kim, but he throws a fastball, you know, low in pretty much the only spot that Kim's going to be able to hit it. Someone who was kind of overmatched. You want to get that fastball up in the zone. We saw how King swung and missed on the fastball up in the zone just a pitch prior.
Rare miss from Domenico. Accuracy has been his strength so far this season, as he's delivered back-to-back fastballs right on the knee of Josh Erd to put him down 0-2. Ground ball. Hawkins at short, deep. Throw to first. In time! Backhand deep in the hole, fires a laser across the diamond to retire Josh Erd. Matthew Kim advances to second in the process. There's 2 gone. Runner on second in Kim. Caleb Sturdivant standing in. His team is down 3-0.
Really nice play from Zakai Hawkins. And Hawkins, importantly, he didn't rush it. He got it. So maybe it seemed like he took a little bit too much time, but he knew what he was doing. Took the time to deliver an absolute dot. And the worst case scenario after taking the time is he's safe. If he rushes it, he easily could have missed that throw. And how about that pitch from Domenico?
Wicked slider with 14 inches of horizontal break cutting in to Caleb Sturdivant, called strike. Beauty from Domenico. He's up 0-1. Fastball gets away from Carter Ritchie. Kim advances to third. Runner 90 feet away from Sturdivant, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Has gone down both times on strikes. It's his first time facing Domenico. Righty-lefty matchup. Sturdivant in the righty batter's box. 1-1 pitch. Slider again, called strike. Beautiful breaking ball. Cuts right into the zone. That time on the outside corner makes it 1-2.
Nasty. I mean, that's one of those pitches you try to throw on MLB The Show and just can't. Perfect backdoor slider.
Fastball outside line straight back. Still a 1-2 count. Sturdivant has not located the slider the entire at-bat. If you're Domenico up in the count, you feel inclined to locate it maybe a little low. See if Sturdivant chases after he's seen it twice and watched it go by. 1-2 pitch, fastball. Once more, fouled right side again. Deja vu. Domenico delivering a lot of those four-seamers low, and you're pointing your finger up. You want him to locate that high.
I think that, with his elusiveness and his velocity, a high fastball in Sturdivant is going down swinging. He hides the ball well. You got to think slider, so if you get that high fastball, it's such a tough pitch.
Went change-up, fouled straight back. That one in on the hands.
But again, I think, Domenico leaving a little bit too much plate on that, but with his great change in speed and movement on all of his pitches, he can get away with that a little bit, especially against someone who's really, really struggled on the ear. Just grade a guy like him with perfection, of course, because that's how he would hit himself.
1-2. Another fastball low. You're still adamantly skying your index finger.
It all could be set up for that backdoor slider. You throw that fastball away, and then you just kind of freeze him with a slider. Interesting to see what he'll do here.
Slider freezes him, just misses. Right on the outside border. 50-50 call goes in favor of Sturdivant. Works the count even, 2-2.
And that is certainly not a bad pitch whatsoever. Totally froze Sturdivant.
Really an impressive take. He was in swing mode. Fouling off fastballs, changeups. Lays off the slider and swing and a miss. Fastball out of the zone. Right as we're complimenting him, he makes a mistake, is down for the third time tonight swinging. Rough so far for Caleb Sturdivant. Still a 3-0 ball game as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Torrey Domenico retires Caleb Sturdivant.
And some swagger from Domenico there. Kind of staring down Sturdivant a little bit, it seems like. And certainly shuffling off. Really nice pitch. He trusted his stuff, kept it with the outside fastball, and got the K.
New arm on the mound for Silver Spring-Takoma. It's Jay Wandell, right-handed pitcher for the Thunderbolts out of Marymount. For Wandell, it's his first outing of the season.
Interesting time for it.
Had an impressive season at Marymount, 2.68 ERA, 5-0 record in 10 outings, 5 starts, tossed 1 complete game, totaled 37 innings where he allowed 28 hits, 11 earned runs, walked 22, struck out 29, and opponents hit just 212 against him.
And just in warm-ups, it seems like his velocity might be a little bit higher than we have expected. I believe I saw a pitch at 89, even though Fastball listed at only around 86.
Your Cropdusters, the center fielder, number 3 from Frostburg State University, Brian Scott.
Bottom of the 5th. Jay Wandell, right-handed pitcher on the bump for the Thunderbolts. Brian Scott, 9-hitter for the Cropdusters, stands in the righty batter's box. First pitch fastball misses high. It's 1-0.
So certainly not a bad guy to lead off the inning for the Dusters. A lot of speed.
Breaking ball upstairs, right at Scott's eye level. He takes 2-0. Wandell in motion, misses low and in, make it 3-0. And Brian Scott, as the season has progressed, has become a much more patient hitter. We saw him early on really attack almost every first pitch. Now a more diligent approach, draws a 4-pitch walk. Leadoff man on. Top of the order for the Cropdusters, Zakai Hawkins standing in.
He certainly has done that. Still only 5 walks, but you've seen him kind of make adjustments to what the pitching has thrown him, working longer at bats, making it harder.
Hawkins squares around a bunt. It's called a strike. He pulled back. 0-1. Hawkins 1 for 1 tonight with a single and a walk. First time facing Wandell. Breaking ball drills him in the back. Jay Wandell having difficulties locating early.
And that's his 8th hit by pitch of the year. Pretty remarkable. I mean, and Hawkins, just you look at him, he's gotten on base at an incredible clip. I mean, I don't really understand. I think his stats are not necessarily accurate in terms of what they list his on base percentage as. I mean, they say he has 50 at bats and 8 hit by pitches now, 14 walks and 15 hits. I mean, that is insane.
Entering the contest, his on base percentage was listed at .486. Cade Walter in, squares around the bunt, pops it up foul. He's down 0-2. Took a first pitch strike. Nobody out for the Cropdusters here in the bottom of the 5th. Only up 3-0. 2 men on. It's Scott on second, Hawkins on first, both of which can absolutely fly. Walter stands in. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Ahead of the changeup. Walter down on 3 straight strikes. He's retired. Brings in Jimmy Kirk. Kirk 2 for 2 tonight with a pair of singles. Also has an RBI.
And an uncharacteristically poor at bat from Walter there. You know, he's been so hot. And that's a lot of played on 0-2, unable to get anything in that one, though.
Fastball upstairs. 88 from Wandell. Misses. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Wandell set. Kicks, fires. Breaking ball. Misses up and in. Make it 2-0 to Jimmy Kirk.
And that pitch, you know, breaking but staying in. If that one landed a little bit deeper, that's one that Jimmy Kirk would love to hit. Starting inside, ending right down the middle.
He's capitalized on pitches he's gotten down the middle. That one, a fastball in on the hands. It was grounded straight down Kirk over top of it. Makes the count 2-1 with one gone. Cropdusters up 3-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Wandell steps off.
And this is what Hawkins does. I mean,
both Scott and Hawkins
yeah,
dancing on the base paths.
I mean, this is what the Cropdusters have been doing recently, whether it's, taking extra bases or just getting in their heads. It's been a huge difference for the Cropdusters. More active on the bases. It's huge.
2-1 breaking ball called strike. We've yet to see a base stolen tonight from the Cropdusters. Haven't had to. They're up 3-0.
And a lot of early swings and counts, the speedsters who have gotten on, usually, like I said, Hawkins followed it. Walter hasn't got on base yet, but, they're finding ways to move runners on regardless.
2-2 Kirk fouls it straight back. We'll do it again.
And someone like Hawkins, he got on base. While pitch got him to second, he was forced an overthrow, which got him to third. So other ways of utilizing their speed that don't necessarily show up on the scoreboard without it being just a traditional stolen base.
Two lined into deep right center. Quadros makes the catch. Tagging from first is Hawkins. He's safe. Scott advanced to third as well. Play went to second base. Hawkins had to slide. Was in there safely. Two men in scoring position with 2 outs for Andrew Kell. Scott on third, Hawkins on second. Cropdusters up 3-0. Andrew Kell stands in. First pitch fastball low and inside. It's 1-0.
Kell has been locked in for a while now. Talk about the hit streak. Just swinging a really good bat and a great chance to capitalize it in front of a big crowd already with a 3-0 lead. If he gets a fastball in the zone, he's done such a good job of going the other way with it.
Fastball, outer part of the zone, called strike. Kell takes it.
And that's a good pitch. Caught the real outside part of the zone. Not much plate there. 1-0 in the count. No complaints, but certainly gave him a bit of a vision of what to look for later in this at-bat.
Wandell fires back off speed, upstairs, called strike 1-2. Kell already a double tonight. It's his first time facing Wandell. Righty-righty matchup with 2 gone. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Back-to-back breaking balls. Right to the upstairs part of the plate. And down goes Andrew Kell. Cropdusters. First 2 men get on, but the next 3 can't capitalize. Still a 3-0 ball game as we head to the top of the 6th.
So unable to add any more runs. Some good at bats. Would have loved to see Walter get the runners over with 2 speedsters on. And Domenico, after a dominant inning of work, is back out for another one.
Just a reminder, we have the Lono Farm Brewing Company here tonight, serving seltzer beer and the all-new Cropduster Orange Crushes. Corona Ice is also here, serving amazing summer treats. Don't forget the Cropduster Pavilion for hamburgers, brats, and chicken fingers. And tonight, chicken wings.
fun to see Domenico really bring it in that inning. Expect more of the same, especially if he gets himself into the jam. It's easy 90 for him. It doesn't seem like, of course, not implying that he's not, giving as much as he thinks he should, but he's not, having to rear back and give it his all to still be able to hit that, 90 mark, which is great for a guy like him to be able to do.
And you hear the term a lot, gamer. Guys that live for the big moment, not necessarily a superstar that will overwhelm you with raw talent. And nothing to discredit Domenico, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got nasty break. But he's not no Aroldis Chapman velocity. But when it comes to the big moments, nobody wants the ball more than Tori Domenico. And at the biggest stage so far for the Cropdusters here tonight, in front of thousands of fans, he is wired.
And it's fun to see with Domenico. It feels like pretty early on what the pitch that he's going to be leading on is. The fastball's always going to be there, but some days seem like the changeup is just excellent, and some days it's the slider. And it's just weird, but that's how baseball works. You ask any pitcher, and there's no science to it. It's just some days the break is, just better on one pitch.
Top of the sixth, and Domenico back on the bump. Stephen Thomas at the dish. David Vazzo gets the call, rather. So an interesting lineup from the Thunderbolts. Takes out one of their best hitters in place of another great hitter, yet they have Caleb Sturdivant, who's hitting below .020 bat with 2 men on to end the inning. Had struck out twice before. Interesting approach tonight for Silver Spring-Takoma.
Especially if they're going to go to him in the 7th inning. I mean, this isn't the 9th. This isn't, okay, let's just get you one at bat before the night's over. This is, we want to win this game. We're going to bring you in. And if that's the case, then why not just start him or bring him in last inning, instead of Sturdivant, like you were saying.
Vazzo, 3-1 count. Fastball misses away.
And Domenico just barely missing, especially that 1-1 pitch was, maybe in the zone, but didn't get the call.
Swing and a miss. Fastball out of the zone. Vazzo gives Domenico a strike, works the count full, 3-2.
And he's got great run on that fastball. Like a lot of lefties, it just has a bit of a tail, a bit of a two-seam action to it. Looks like it's going to stay in the zone, then it moves out.
3-2 pitch, misses low. Vazzo takes. Leadoff walk for the Thunderbolts. Brings in Vance Bonnier.
And
just an interesting approach. I really can't get over it, Ben. Steve Thomas, this team's third best hitter with a .302 batting average. Caleb Sturdivant, the team's worst, hitting below .020. They leave him in, take out Thomas to put in Vazzo, who's the Thunderbolts' second best hitter with a .319 stripe. An interesting approach. Not a whole lot of logic that I can piece together to explain it.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, and they're aware of Sturdivant's struggles. I mean, them putting him second there's a reason behind it. It's they don't think they're outsmarting the system as Domenico throws ball too. There's a reason for it. Maybe they're trying to get his confidence up. Maybe they're just trying to change something, But yeah, for whatever reason they've done it, and it's not paying off, at least obviously.
2-1 pitch gets away from Richie. Vazzo takes second base. It's 3-1 to the Thunderbolts' leader in batting average, and Vance Bonnier. Hitters count, and Richie will go out to talk to Tori Domenico. Cropdusters up 3-0 here in the top of the sixth. It's David Vazzo on second base. Vance Bonnier with a 3-1 count and nobody out, trying to get his team on the board.
Seems like you might have to just recalibrate a little bit here. Like we talked about, that fastball seems like it's kind of, if anything, we talked about the tail. It seems like it's gained some tail, especially in this inning for whatever reason. And because of that, you're seeing it start in the zone and just break a little bit out. So I think he's got to aim a little bit closer to that front knee of the right-handed hitter, and then just it's going to break away, but hopefully that it breaks more outside corner than a foot outside.
3-1 pitch inside, called strike. Fastball right on the hands. Not a whole lot of tail on that one. Works the count full, 3-2. And Domenico nods. Checks on Vatso at second. Focuses home. Kicks, fires, low. Back-to-back walks. Tossed by Torrey and Domenico. First two men on for the Thunderbolts. Jack Herta represents the tying run in the lefty batter's box. Adam Leader will go out to talk to Torrey and Domenico.
Uncharacteristic for Domenico. Going into this inning, 16 innings, only 6 walks. You think of him as a strike thrower, a confidence pitcher, but now doing exactly what, you know, the Thunderbolts want. Down 3 against someone who is so tough to hit. Best way forward is through free bases, and he's given 2 of them.
They're going to leave Domenico out there. Nobody getting loose in the Cropdusters bullpen. Gavin a little stretching. He's supposed to be the team's closer, so unlikely he'd get the call if Domenico fails to retire a few more Thunderbolts.
But there is so much faith in Domenico and his ability to bounce back.
Herta shows bunt. Gets it down. Domenico off the bump. Skies the throw. Stalker off the bag. The bases are loaded. Torrey and Domenico finally gets a chance to retire at least one. Pitch was there. Throw to first not. Braden Foster stands in. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
And sort of grimace right away. He tried to set his feet, but he was always kind of on his back foot. His back was, you know, he was not straight, not going towards first base. Tough play.
First pitch to Foster. Line drive down the right field line. Foul. A few feet away from being fair. Just a tad right of the stripe. It's 0-1. First time we've seen Foster bat from the right side of the plate. Attacked the first pitch fastball. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's Vatso on third, Bonnier on second, Herta on first.
Very quickly, tying run on base out of, you know, relatively nothing. No hits this inning.
0-1. Foster fouls another fastball. Down 0-2.
This is his first at bat from the right side, of course, you know, switching with the lefty. Did not look great from the left. Smith got him to K twice.
Foster, a natural righty. Potentially a little more comfortable from this side of the plate. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Foster takes it's 1-2.
And interesting, the changeup he got him caught swinging on the changeup in both of his at-bats. Smith struck him out on that pitch from the left side, and Domenico throws a very similar pitch, except now, seeing it from the right, he was able to spit on it. Interesting, just different change. But Domenico maybe opens up the high fastball, or he go back down, this time with the slider maybe.
1-2 count, and Domenico fires. Line drive up the middle, base hit. Vatso scores. Bonnier holds at third. Thunderbolts on the board. It's 3-1. Olney still ahead. Bases still loaded, though. Cropdusters in some trouble. Ryan Quadros stands in.
So everyone goes base to base. And real trouble for the Cropdusters. And Domenico, who's been so solid. The walks have just haunted him now, and of course the error doesn't help. He's really got to dig deep now. Infield playing for the double play. Got to get one out first.
First pitch to Ryan Quadros misses up and out. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup again. It's Bonnier on third, Herta on second, Foster on first. Quadros at the dish. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Over top the fastball. It was right at the knees. 1-1.
And I think it's important. We're not seeing him throw that changeup that much. When he has it on, he knows it. He's going to it a lot. But he doesn't love throwing that slider to righties, it seems. So right now, he's really got that fastball as by far his primary pitch, especially to right-handers.
Fails to locate that heater. Well away, 2-1. Tying run on second. Quadros at the dish. And Domenico kicks, fires, swing and a miss! Inside and low, Quadros can't lay off. It's 2-2.
And Carter Ritchie, you know, it's his throwbacks. I feel as a pitcher, when the catcher really catches it and chucks it to you as hard as he can, or at least 60 miles an hour right into the glove, it's so much more of a comforting feeling.
Ball gets away from Ritchie. Bonnier comes home. He's safe. A high fastball off the glove of Ritchie. It's now 3-2. Everybody advanced, 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Things are collapsing for the Cropdusters here in the top of the 6th.
And some would say it's unrelated, some would say it's not. But yeah, like back to what I was saying, just kind of that lollygag throwback just gives off this. Of course, Ritchie's trying as hard as he can, but as a pitcher, I just like to feel a confidence in my catcher that he's giving his all.
Swing and a miss. Pitcher does his all, strikes out Ryan Quadros, and Ritchie again bounces the ball back to Domenico.
And in the Bethesda, the Big Train game, he did that to Gavin Lilly. He overthrew Lil and run scored. So yeah, I think it actually does so much for the pitcher's psyche when you know that you throw the ball, the catcher delivers it right back to you with some decent speed instead of kind of this loopy. You have to kind of go off the rubber and catch it and bend down.
Ground ball. Fry at third. Throw to first in time. Curry retired. Herta held. Still 2 in scoring position with 2 outs for Matthew Kim.
Great job from Domenico getting a huge out. Again, staying with a fastball to do it.
Cropdusters only up by 1. There's 2 in scoring position for Matthew Kim, who's 2 for 2 tonight. And Domenico exhales, kicks, fires, fastball, called strike. Beneficial call, it was well away.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of gone back and forth with that zone. It's of course started big, but then both pitchers kind of getting squeezed a little bit in the second and third innings, maybe opening it up again.
0-1 count, slider, beautiful pitch. First time we've seen it all inning. Great time to break it out. Puts Domenico up 0-2 against Matthew Kim.
Yeah, I wish I could get to go and tell him. I know maybe you don't love throwing it to righties, but you should. It's such a good pitch, and even if it's kind of breaking in, it's still so nasty.
0-2. Foul tip straight back. Kim just gets just enough, rather. End of the bat. Fouls it back. Still 0-2. 3-2 contest here in the top of the 6th. Herta on third, Foster on second. 0-2 count to Matthew Kim. Line drive into right center, base hit. 1 run scores. Rounding third is Foster, and the Thunderbolts have the lead. 4 runs in the top of the 6th. And Silver Spring-Takoma has come powering back. A spark for the Thunderbolts, and they're up 1 against the Cropdusters. Matthew Kim, 3 for 3. His first 2 RBIs of the night. Unreal.
Kim, who really struggled in this league last year, struggling again this year, but a huge day at the plate. 3 knocks, and what a clutch one at that.
0-1 pitch in the dirt to Erd. Richie blocks. It's 1-1. And Domenico, his worst inning of the season. He's allowed 4 earned runs. And the inning is still yet to be over. Runner on first, 2 going for Erd. Fastball line down the line, foul. Ricochets off the Cropdusters bullpen. It's 1-2.
And everyone has their blemishes. It's just kind of, it happens to all the pitchers. It was a good hitting. Got to tip your cap to Kim. Not the best pitch, but Kim going the other way with it.
Slider upstairs, 2-2. Impressive performance from Matthew Kim. When these 2 teams meet again, which they will, at least 2 more times, likely 3 in an elimination postseason game, Thunderbolts didn't put forth their best lineup more likely than not tonight, but we're sure, or I'm sure rather, that Matthew Kim will be among the 9 playing when it matters most.
Does a nice job filling his position too at second base. Definitely part of what puts him in the lineup, but maybe he can have that bat be another reason for why he's in the lineup if he can have more performances like this one.
2-2 pitch to Erd. And Domenico kicks, fires, upstairs miss. Count full, 3-2. Deep drive, left field, on the run. Walter makes the catch. Inning ends, but not without damage being dealt. The Thunderbolts tally a quartet of runs in the top of the 6th to storm back and take a 1-run lead. It's 4-3 Silver Spring-Takoma as we head to the bottom half of the inning.
They won the July fireworks game package, including tickets, jerseys, concessions, and reserved parking at our kickoff auction party. Thank you to the Lowry family.
So we've seen this team battle back from adversity previously. They're going to have to do it again now.
And we'll have to do it against a set of fans that have had the wind knocked out of them. Everything was going Olney's way until that top of the 6th.
And, you know, we'll see still many chances to score, but, you know, when you have first and second with no outs, you think that you're going to be able to get something out of it. Kid Walter just uncharacteristically unable to do much with it, and then Kirk and Kel both going down, but chance for this bottom of the lineup who's looked solid, starting off with Zampella, who has probably the best swing of the day for the Cropdusters, a 2-run single, shooting the ball the other way to start them off.
And I don't want to speak too soon, Ben, but this is, in my opinion, the best game we've seen all season. Bottom of the 6th, Cropdusters down 4-3. Jay Wandell back on the bump for the Thunderbolts for his 2nd inning of work. He'll start it against Walker Zampella.
We've certainly been treated to a good one. You know, 2 teams that know what's at stake. You saw the Vazzo pinch hit. If there were any questions about if the Thunderbolts taking this game seriously.
And on a night where the Cropdusters have yielded their largest home attendance of the season, the fans have been gifted with arguably the team's best games. 1-0 count to Zampella, righty-righty matchup. Fastball called strike, evens it up, 1-1.
And in good baseball, obviously that's what makes it a good game. Obviously, you know, Domenico made the error, but in general, it's been good. It's been a well-fielded game, good pitching, it's good swings.
Breaking ball, Scott in foul territory. Over to make the catch Behind first base is Braden Foster. There's one gone.
Batting next, the first baseman, number 16 from Westchester University, Austin Stalker.
Austin Stalker stands in, first time facing Wandell.
And
he's 0 for 2 tonight from the left side. Stays there. First pitch, fouled straight back. It's 0-1.
I'm interested to see how the first base situation will kind of end up. Because, right now we have Stalker in their quote-unquote best lineup. We have seen Jimmy Kirk play first. If you put Kirk at first, it opens it up to play whoever isn't playing at DH. A couple guys do come to mind.
Stalker skies it infield. Right side, Foster from first in, makes the catch, 2 gone. Stalker, visibly frustrated, claps his hands, vigorously takes off the elbow brace, brings in Carter Ritchie. And respect to Jay Wandell, his first out into the season, comes in relief with his team down 3, now a chance for the win. He's retired 5-6, now faces 7 in Ritchie. Breaking ball misses away, it's 1-0.
Kadrian Ahern, of course, the other first baseman, who, despite, not hitting for a great average, just below 200, his on-base percentage is at .476, and that's due to his great eye. He, of course, will have a say in that starting first base spot.
And if you go the designated hitter route, you can plug a lot of guys in. Stalker, higher average than Ahern, and perceived a little more pop. He has 4 doubles, but has yet to hit a home run.
We've seen Ron Klein play some DH, but he's really struggled recently.
2-1 pitch to Ritchie, breaking ball called strike. It's 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Swing and a miss. Jay Wandell retires the side. The Thunderbolts have all the momentum. It came in a flash. Here in the 6th, 4 runs scored in the top half of the inning. Shut down the Cropdusters in the bottom. It's a 4-3 ball game as we head to the 7th. And you have to imagine, Ben, we got a chance to listen to Coach Leader address the team before the game. He said, and I quote, "We do not lose this game." The pressure has to be mounting on these Olney players after they relinquished a 3-run lead in the 6th and now trail by 1 with just 9 outs remaining.
And obviously that's not the inning that they would have wanted after a real tough 4-run, cushion was just, a 4-run spot was put on in that top of the 6th. But, really important to put a 0 now. You do not want to make this, any worse. And good news for the Cropdusters. They have maybe their most consistent or most reliable reliever in Sean Rosemond.
Rosemond takes over for Endomenico, another lefty for the Cropdusters in relief. Rosemond has appeared in 7 games, all of which have come in relief. He prefers to come out of the bullpen. He's tossed 14 in the 3rd innings, has a 1.25 ERA, has struck out 16, walked just 7. A 1-1 record for Sean Rosemond. His team trails by 1. And the best thing for Rosemond is the ability to locate. Pounds the strike zone over and over.
And I think of him as a no-nonsense pitcher. He leads the team in 16 Ks despite not leading the team in innings. And he just pounds his zone. Yeah, he has 6 walks, but that, he's an aggressive pitcher. He's not trying to he's not trying to nibble. Sure, he hits spots, but when he gets there, he said my stuff is better than you, and I am going to prove it by attacking you. And it's evident in the way he throws and the way he carries himself on the rubber.
Top of the 7th, Thunderbolts up 4-3. Sean Rosemond, left-handed pitcher, on the bump for the Cropdusters. Caleb Sturdivant, right-handed batter, leads things off for the Thunderbolts. Sturdivant squares around, pulls back, 1-0. Fastball high and away. Nice take from Sturdivant. He's ahead in the count. Rosemond delivers another four-seamer. Misses low, below the knees, 2-0. And for Rosemond, this is not a guy you want to walk. Sturdivant, 1 hit in 40 at-bats this season, has struck out 3 times tonight. Rosemond must be aggressive to start off this inning.
Especially with the very impressive hitters up after Sturdivant. Do not want to have him on with a runner already on base.
Back-to-back foul tips from Sturdivant have evened the count 2-2. A pair of fastballs. Sturdivant under both of them. They have been lined straight back. Rosemond comes set. 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Fastball well outside. Sturdivant just gets a piece. We'll do it all over again. Another fastball, another foul ball. Sturdivant not making it easy on Sean Rosemond. Didn't make it easy on Torrey and Domenico, clearly seeing the pitches from lefties better tonight. 2-2, swing and a miss. Rough night for Sturdivant. We're only in the top of the 7th, and he has struck out 4 times. Leadoff man retired. Brings in David Vatso.
Rosemond stuck with the fastball for a lot of pitches, then finally dropped in the changeup, and it was a really good one. Just the velocity change enough to get the swing and the miss.
Vatso took over for Steve Thomas. Walked in the 6th. Has a 1-0 count. Fastball misses low and in. Rosemond fires. Vatso skies it. Foul territory. Drifting back. Ritchie. It's into the stands. Evens it up 1-1.
It's interesting with Rosemond. More than a lot of guys, the velocity fluctuation on his fastball is always pretty stark. Like the fastball will go anywhere between, I'd say, even 82 to maybe 87 it's interesting, but whatever reason, it just finds ways to miss barrels. He comes at it from a high arm angle, he attacks you, and despite the not great speed, he's still able to beat you.
Has already 1 swing and miss, but so far it's been a lot of foul tips from these Thunderbolts batters. Not necessarily the swing and miss stuff so far. Another foul ball up in the zone. Fastball skied straight back, has evened the count 2-2.
Especially prior to 2 strikes, though. I mean, you'll certainly take the foul balls, especially on fastballs that are out of the plate. But he gets those strikes on fastballs out of the zone because his fastball has a great shape. It stays high.
2-2 fastball out of the zone once more. That time a little too high for Vatso to chase. Didn't even think about it. Works the count full, 3-2. There's 1 gone in the top of the 7th. Nobody on. Thunderbolts up 4-3. Rosemond fires. Vatso skies it. Shallow left field. Drifting in. Walter out. Hawkins from short. It'll be Hawkins who makes the catch. 2 gone.
And a big metric that's used these days in pitching is IVB, or induced vertical break. And it means how much a pitch rises or jumps, basically. And I think Rosemond's a great example of why IVB is so important. because he just, yeah, like we said, 85, 86, but his fastball, it stays on its plane. It really does. If it's upstairs, you think it's going to drop, it stays high, and hitters just cannot get the barrel to it because of its ability to stay on the plane.
He's one of the few pitchers that can do that on this roster, and it's a stark contrast from Domenico, who has a lot of run on that four-seamer. 1-0 pitch to Vance Bonnier, fastball called strike right down Broadway, evens it up 1-1. 2 gone, nobody on for Silver Spring-Tacoma's cleanup hitter. Ground ball, third base side. Fry takes it at third. Throw to first in time. Sean Roseman retires the side. Cropdusters still trail by 1, but it's time to stretch before Olney takes over on offense.
For the 7th inning stretch. That time to get up on your feet, get ready to sing
Roseman
along
doing
to
what he
take
does,
the
pounding
lead
the
in
zone,
ball game.
and gets a 3 up, 3 down. You'd figure, especially if the Dusters don't get the lead in this inning, it'll be his game, maybe regardless. But Cropdusters, they know they need to respond. Another, Coach Leader loves his team meetings, especially when they're down. They're calling another one right now. Bottom 7. You don't want to get this any further without, hopefully tying it up, taking the lead.
And we've talked about the pressure on the Cropdusters right now, but how about the pressure on the Thunderbolts? This is a team that has dropped 3 straight, 2 of which have come to the big train. They lost a doubleheader, were swept in a pair of contests against Bethesda. 3-game losing streak, battle for second place. Silver Spring has a lot on the line, and despite some questionable lineup arrangements, they've battled back, and they want this just as much, I'm sure, as Olney does.
Certainly, and I think that having this extra motivator of, this is a big day for them. We have to kind of be the villains. Let's do it. Let's embrace it. Let's kind of change. Let's change up our thought process a little bit for this game, and have some fun. And they're gonna have a big crowd. Let that fuel us. And we're kind of playing with our backs against the wall, and good. We deserve to be there. We've lost 3 straight, but we're a better team than that. And they're coming in here. They've caught up in this. They caught us in the standings. They want this to be a day that they prove that they're the top dogs on us. But we got something to say as well, and they're attempting to do so right now.
All it is for sure, still a lot of time left in this contest, is that when these two teams meet with their seasons on the line, we can expect something magical. Jay Wandell back on the bump for the Thunderbolts. He's tossed 2 scoreless innings. Aiden Fry stands in for the Cropdusters. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, fastball away, 1-0. Sky beginning to set into darkness here from First Responders Field as the sun drifts below the hazel line. It's 1-1.
It's a good off-speed pitch. Fry not really sitting on it.
Heater up. Nice take from Fry. Borderline pitch, 2-1.
It was a good take. Fry knows the situation. Bottom of the 7th, you're the leadoff man. Good speed on the bases. Find your way on.
2-1. Fastball called strike. Another borderline pitch. That time it goes in favor of Wandell. Even count, 2-2.
And Kim at second base is playing pretty shaded towards second. Interesting to see, especially with 2 strikes and decent velocity.
Foul tip. Fry just gets just enough of the slider.
Just enough indeed. If that swing was just a millisecond earlier, he could be, walking back in the dugout. But gets to go again, and Kim again really shifted over a big hole, between first and second base.
Fry, a big pull hitter. Check swing, another slider from Wandell. It was out of the zone. Works the count full, 3-2. Would be a big leadoff walk for the Cropdusters if Aiden Fry manages to get on. Wandell might have something to say about it. 3-2 pitch, upstairs. Aiden Fry draws the walk. Solid at bat from Olney's 8th hitter. It's his first time aboard safely tonight. Brings in Brian Scott.
Really nice job by Aiden Fry there. Not trying to do too much, aware of his role, just kind of one of many in this inning is the goal. He's got good speed, stayed within himself, and found his way on. And now Brian Scott, he did walk in his last at bat. I would not be shocked if the bunt is on here, especially with the top of the order up next.
Cropdusters enjoy playing small ball. They're convening over at the third base line. Righty getting loose in the Thunderbolts bullpen. Should Wandell struggle against Scott. 9-hitter for the Cropdusters. He's been stellar tonight. Has worked nice at-bats. He's 0 for 1, walked his last time up.
They certainly have the right guy in if they want to bunt. You know, good speed, also good ability to get it down.
He squares around. Off goes Fry. Pulls back. Throw down to second. Into center field. Fry holds as Sturdivant came in to corral the wild throw. Runner in scoring position with nobody out. 1-0 count to Scott. You got to wonder if you still bunt here and move the runner over to third.
They take the risk. They take the second base before the bunt. Something Leader doesn't do a lot, but now with the runner on second, I think, yeah, why not? But also, Scott, a good bat-to-ball hitter. You can kind of trust him to get a ball on the ground and get the runner over to third.
Shows bunt, pickoff, nobody there. Fry was caught a bit in no man's land.
Not only was Fry caught, Scott also caught. Doing that inside move kind of revealed the fact that the bunt is most likely still on for him. He put it down.
Scott has not squared around. 1-0 pitch now does. Fails to get it down. The barrel went over top of the fastball. It's 1-1.
And he's not fooling anyone. We all know he's bunting, so I don't necessarily see the need for he's not bunting for a hit. Just, put the bat head down, get comfortable in your stance, and just, kind of nestle the ball onto the bat.
Ball and a strike. Scott gets it down first base line. Foster scoops, tags Scott out. Fry over to third. Top of the order up for the Cropdusters.
Great job.
Tying run just 90 feet away.
He did his job, as did Aiden Fry. Liked, using his speed. And now a great contact guy, and he's someone who hits the ball hard up the middle. Of course, you got to go infield in, but I think, the way he hits, great chance to sneak something through.
He's reached base safely 3 times tonight. Once on a single, once on a walk, once on a hit by pitch.
And pitching from the stretch, Fry can get a good secondary.
Fastball upstairs. Full motion from Wandell. It's 1-0. Cade Walter stands in the on-deck circle. Tying run 90 feet away. 4-3 contest. Thunderbolts up 1. Bottom of the 7th. Heater, called strike, evens it up. 1-1.
Seems like for Walter on deck, his numbers have improved every single game. Today they're 0 for 3. So if he gets a chance to bat with Hawkins, failing to do the job or walking, he'll be rearing to go.
A ball and a strike. Fastball, chopped straight back. It's 1-2.
That's a good pitch. Maybe the one pitch that Hawkins is a bit susceptible to. He likes to get that bat out fully on the off-speed pitch. He's able to sit on it. The inside fastball, he gets the 2 elbows out. If you can execute that inside pitch, he's really got to get those quick hands, which he has, but he's just got to be in the mood for it and get him out early.
Chokes up on the bat. 1-2 with 1 away. Just inside. Slider from Wandell. Borderline call. Hawkins stays alive. It's 2-2.
Everyone at the edge of their seats. Everyone aware of the importance of this pitch.
Everyone, including us. 2-2. Just away. Back to the slider. Wandell fails to locate. Back-to-back off-speed pitches. The count is full.
2 really composed takes from Hawkins. Saw a lot of the ball on that one, but saw the movement, and it did go out of the zone.
3-2 pitch. Tying run on third. Chopped. Short. Erd makes the play. 2 gone rather. Fry held at third base. Hard hit ground ball from Hawkins. Just a little too fast for Fry to take home. There's 2 gone, brings in Cade Walter.
And after a really good at-bat, Hawkins got the pitch he was looking for, a fastball with a lot of plate on it, just unable to lift it or get anything on it.
Cade Walter stands in. Lefty-righty matchup. Walter in the lefty batter's box. First pitch outside, 1-0. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. Thunderbolts up 4-3. Cropdusters tying run is on third. It's Aiden Fry. Cade Walter at the dish. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 1-0. Skied. Deep right center. Drifting back, Sturdivant. He doesn't see it. Finally finds it. Makes the catch. Inning over. Cropdusters have a runner in scoring position with no outs and end the inning empty. We head to the 8th. Olney down on Silver Spring-Takoma 4-3.
And Walter had a pitch to hit. I mean, that as down the middle as can be. Took a decent hack on it, just unable to do much with it. Just got under it a little bit. He has the power to just, to get it all the way. Just, was not able to, get the barrel to it fully. Just flew out.
And Ben, as we were going through the bottom of the 7th, you said earlier how you had a dream about pitching BP to Tyler Cook and Will Henson. I had a dream last night, and it just came to me, where I was standing on second base, similar to Aiden Fry, taking signals from Adam Leader. Problem was, I didn't know what they were.
Oh, my God.
So I have to act. I was trying to guess what the signals were, whether or not I was supposed to steal or hold or what the heck was going on. And it was a disaster.
Sounds like a disaster. That's one of those you're given a presentation and you don't know what you're doing, and the next thing you know you're not wearing pants.
You ever have those naked in school dreams?
I did not actually.
I did.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah, several times. Middle school, yeah.
Wow. Middle school, not a fun time at all.
Puberty hits you hard then.
Yeah, seriously does.
I think my voice dropped about 12 octaves between 7th and 8th grade. Came back, was a bit of a squeaker when I was 12, 13. Came back after that summer, and my voice has not really changed since.
I never would have guessed that,
Oh, I was a squeaker, Ben.
Got your nice alto voice these days, but guess, obviously, back in the day, we all
had the high pitch.
We did indeed. I miss it. Miss those high notes, just don't hit the way they used to.
Top of the 8th, Sean Roseman back on the bump for the Cropdusters. Olney trails 4-3. It's Jack Herta at the dish for the Thunderbolts. First pitch fastball missed upstairs, 1-0. Roseman off speed, misses in. 2 balls, no strikes. Heater right down Broadway, called strike. 2-1.
The velocity is taking an even more of a dip. We're looking at 81, 82.
Fastball, low velocity again, well high. Herta takes. Hitters count, 3 balls and a strike. Braden Foster on deck for the Thunderbolts. Herta rolls over the heater into the Cropdusters dugout near first base. Count full, 3-2.
And obviously we don't have the numbers the way MLB staffs do, but as we'll wait for the 3-2 pitch.
Swing and a miss. Herta, a ballerina routine in the lefty batter's box. Completely confused. Swung well through the high fastball. Leadoff man retired, brings in Braden Foster.
And back to what I was saying, we don't obviously Leader does not manage the games like the way MLB managers do, but do we have the data? But based on the way Foster hit from the right side, I would have thought about maybe bringing in Gavin Lill for this, getting him back to his left, because he looked a lot more comfortable against Indomenico batting as a right-handed batter than he did in his first 2 at-bats when, Smith made him look kind of silly.
Natural righty, we talked about it yesterday, Ben, the importance of switch hitting. and how it seems there's inconsistencies between different sides. Foster clearly a little more comfortable from the right side of the plate. Doesn't look comfortable in this at-bat. He's down 0-2, chased on a breaking ball on the last pitch. Doesn't chase there, fastball up and away. Foster lays off, it's 1-2. One out, nobody on. Roseman set, kicks, fires. Foster fouls back the off speed. Was well ahead, leaning forward on that front leg. Just gets a piece. If that ball went fair, it was not going very far.
No, it was not. Hitters have a tough time with that changeup. But, yeah, I don't think that Foster was intending for that ball to go fair. Just wasting it away, hoping to get a fastball.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base line, foul. It was weakly hit. Fry got a piece of it over at third. Had it gone fair, Foster, obviously tall, relatively fast, would have been a tight play. I'm sure Roseman will take the foul ball and settle with attacking Foster once more. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sean Roseman. He's got a trio in an inning and 2/3.
Really feels like just Mr. Dependable. Whenever the Dusters need outs, they'll go to him, and he seems to always provide them.
Pinch hitter for the Thunderbolts. It's Aiden Driscoll taking over for Ryan Quadros. Quadros 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Driscoll gets the call late. He's hitting .239 this season. This is his 18th game played. First pitch fastball misses low. It's 1-0.
You look at, like I said, the batting average for Driscoll, relatively unassuming. Only .239, but OBP 448.
Line drive into left. Walter on the run. Makes the play. No doubt about it. Sean Roseman, 6 up, 6 down. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Meat of the lineup for the Cropdusters. 3-4-5. They trail by 1.
Easy work, or at least seemingly so. It's just a great outing. 2 scoreless innings. More of the same for Roseman. And, you know, looking for a chance to bring Gavin Lill in to get a save. You need 2 runs here, though. That would be an electric inning of work if he can come in with a lead. I guarantee you that. But a lot of work for the Cropdusters to do if that can become a reality.
New arm for Silver Spring-Takoma.
Providing access to excellent, affordable higher education.
It's Liam Miller. He's appeared in 4 games, has tossed 7 innings, a 2-1 record to go alongside his 1.28 ERA. He's struck out 6, walked 5, just allowed 2 hits.
And he's coming off his most impressive outing, also his longest, against the Senators in an 11-6 win. He pitched 3 innings, didn't go up any hits, only 1 walk, 2 strikeouts as well. So another guy that is, quote-unquote, one of the best for them. You know, they're using their top guys. He's got a 1.28 ERA in 7 innings, like you said. Just they are using the guys who they know that they can carry. They can rely to carry them to the victory, but the Cropdusters have something to say for themselves and start right away with Jimmy Kirk, who's already got 2 hits on the day.
Bottom of the 8th, new pitcher Liam Miller on the bump for Silver Spring-Takoma. He'll face the meat of the Cropdusters lineup. 3-4-5 Olney trails by 1. Jimmy Kirk leads things off. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, foul tip, straight back. It's 0-1.
Jimmy Kirk, of course, looking to provide some early fireworks. We're locked in for some later. Kirk's trying to give us a little bit of an early tease.
Had some last night. We'll have some in about an hour. Kirk trying to deliver an extra surprise for the Cropdusters. Breaking ball missed away. It's 1-1. Miller from the windup. Kicks, fires. Curveball called strike 2. Beautiful break. It was in the zone. Fans do not like the call. Kirk down 1-2. Nearly a foot of vertical break.
Nasty pitch. Fans are doing their best Ben Gurwitch impression, sitting in seat 525 at Citi Field.
Fastball misses low. Borderline call. Bonnier has not helped out his pitching staff so far tonight. That was right at the knees. Should have been called a strike. Bonnier flips the glove. Umpire calls it a ball. 2-2.
And he didn't even secure it. I mean, that's a perfect pitch.
2-2 fastball misses low again. Count full 3-2.
And that one, you know, borderline strike. Bonnier not presenting it in a positive sense. I mean, that easily, if you catch it, if you give it a frame especially, I mean, that could be strike 3.
3-2 pitch. Curveball outside. Leadoff walk for Jimmy Kirk. Runner on, nobody out. Cropdusters down 1 here in the bottom of the 8th.
He gave that one the biggest frame of the inning on a pitch that was clearly a ball. He gave that one the big up, but on the fastballs that he certainly could have presented in a better way, he did.
And Jimmy Kirk has been taken out of the ball game.
No.
Pinch runner.
Cromartie, I believe. Well,
R.J. Cromartie pinch running for Jimmy Kirk.
Well, we know all we see is a gold helmet, and we know that sadly one of the gold helmet players right now is injured.
Jaden Knight injured that left hand. Interesting. Cropdusters take out arguably their best bat. Trying to tie things up. Andrew Kell at the plate. One-0 count.
But, you know, you got to understand it. Bottom of the 8th, you might not even get another at-bat. That run is so huge, and getting the speed advantage is important.
Pickoff attempt of first. A Max Scherzer-esque throw over. Steps off and a 20-mile-an-hour lob over to Braden Foster.
Yeah, I'm never sure what to make of that. Just saying, here, you get your pickoff move. Like, congratulations. But I don't know. This doesn't necessarily seem beneficial.
1-0. Kell squares around, lays it down. Foul. Was fair for about 50 feet. Broke to the right of the first base line. Evens the count 1-1.
And I don't know if I love that bunt call. I mean, you have one of your most consistent hitters up in Andrew Kell. And Zampella has been nice, but it puts a lot of pressure on him, especially with Austin Stalker behind him, who's 0 for 3 with 3, not great at-bats. I think, it's your 4 hitter. He's batting there for a reason. I think you let him swing.
I'm with you, Ben. You don't put Andrew Kell in the cleanup spot to have him bunt. He does it again. Gets it down. Miller off the mound. Throw to first in time. Cromartie advances to second. Andrew Kell, a successful sacrifice, brings in Walker Zampella. And I really think they're putting all the eggs in the Zampella basket right now, considering Stalker's struggles. You have to feel good if you get through Zampella about your odds facing Stalker. He's had a really rough night at the plate.
But all you need is one, whether that be from Zampella or Stalker. Coach Leader trusting his guys to get a base knock and tie this game up.
Cromartie at second. First pitch, Zampella fouled straight back, 0-1. And that fastball was right down the middle. Zampella under it.
A little bit more velocity than we saw earlier in the game, up to, near the 90s. But, nothing that Zampella is not more than capable of hitting.
Miller has eclipsed 90 twice so far. Comes set. Zampella awaits. 0-1 count with 1 away. Runner on second. Off speed high. Evens it up 1-1.
A little interesting that earlier in the game we saw a similar script with the leadoff runner on first in Kirk for Kell, and he actually hit a double. It was second and third, no outs. This time, take the bat out of Kell, and we'll see. You know, Zampella did actually clutch up in that at bat with a 2-run single. Hoping he does the same now with this runner on second instead.
To be determined whether or not the bunt pays off. Zampella, line drive into right base hit. Cromartie rounds third. Throw in from Driscoll. Play at the plate.
Safe.
He's safe. Zampella into second on the throw. We're tied here in the bottom of the 8th. Clutch.
And that's why you pinch run, because that was a heck of a throw. In right field, like Quadro. And, you know, I don't, no disrespect to Jimmy Kirk, I do not think he's motoring on home there. But Cromartie does make it, and credit to Coach Luder, he pushed all the right buttons, the pinch runner and the bunt, trust Zampella, and another great piece of hitting, and Austin Starkers had a rough day, chance to change it all and take the lead.
First pitch upstairs, 1-0. Zampella can fly as well. He's on second base. There's just one out. 4-4 ball game in the bottom of the 8th.
And that's by far the biggest crowd where we've heard here. Fun to witness.
Stalker driving to right center. On the run it falls. Zampella rounds third. Another play at the plate. Throw wide. He's safe. And just like that, the Cropdusters have taken the lead. It's 5-4, Olney. They just don't go away.
Austin Stalker just uses his strength and muscles it. But what a read by Walker Zampella. He never even thought about stopping. Right when that ball was hit, he picked it up, and he knew that it was landing. Incredible job from Zampella.
And Liam Miller, coming into this outing, had just allowed 2 hits all season. Back-to-back base knocks. He has relinquished his team's narrow 1-run lead, and the Thunderbolts now trail 5-4. There's just one out. Stalker on first. Ritchie at the plate. First pitch low. It's 1-0.
And we're going to get what we were hoping for. And boy, oh boy, Gavin Lill is going to be maybe as happy as anyone. But you know what? I don't think I think right now he is just so locked in. But if you know, he can close this job, man, it'll be a fun thing to watch.
Breaking ball to Ritchie. Called strike. Evens at 1-1. Gavin Lill in the bullpen, warming up. A save opportunity in the 9th. Cropdusters can still add more. Stalkers on first, Ritchie at the plate. Righty-righty matchup between Miller and Ritchie. Heater inside. Ritchie dodges, 2-1.
Back to that Austin Stalker at bat. I mean, he attacked the pitch he saw. And, you know, we were giving him definitely some slack. But, man, when it mattered, you know, didn't hit it that hard. But it doesn't matter. I mean, he took an aggressive swing, trusted his strength, and got the job done.
And we were giving him slack earlier, discussing whether or not he would be the first baseman to go to come postseason play. He has showed his value and then some with just one swing.
Certainly he has.
3-1 to Ritchie. Miller fires. Ritchie, line drive into right base hit. Stalker over to second. Ritchie at first. 3 straight singles, all into right field. 2 aboard, still 1 out. And that might be it for Liam Miller. It is. Came in with the lead. Leaves with his team down 1. Just retired a single. Cropduster allowed 2 runs and 3 hits. And after being lifeless for a pair of innings, he has invigorated the Cropdusters dugout and the fans. Call to the bullpen. Olney up 5-4, still on the attack.
And it's interesting. We talk about when teams don't use their aces, and now when they have, it just doesn't really seem to matter against the Cropdusters. I mean, he had 2 hits going into the outing, and gave up more just tonight. Their starter, Domerak, didn't give up an earned run, and the Cropdusters, hit him around for 3. So seems like not necessarily it is who is pitching against them, it's their approaches. And when they're, taking good at bats and taking extra bases and doing what Zampella did, going the other way, what Richie did as well, using their speed, that's what they should be doing. That's what works for them. I mean, that's how they scored their runs. Good base running, good at bats, and really, really, really impressive Cropduster inning where they've gotten everything to work. And man, Coach Leader and co will be so proud of what he's response in this bottom of the 8th.
We've seen this Cropdusters team battle back several times, but nothing like this. Top-tier opponent late in the game, down to their final 5 outs, and the Cropdusters have come back after relinquishing a 3-run lead to take a 1-run advantage, at least going into the 9th. It's Liam Bowen on the bump for Silver Spring-Takoma, taking over for Liam Miller. Bowen has appeared in 5 games, tossed 7 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 5 earned runs. He's walked 9, struck out 12, has a 6.42 ERA.
And how about this game that we've been treated to? I mean, you talked about it earlier. It was setting out to be maybe the best game that we've called. And, man, I think that is, at this point it's been made clear that that's the case. I mean, great fan reaction, some great at-bats. This game has really had everything. And great to see, in front of a packed house, a well-played baseball game.
No errors outside of the Endomenico overthrow in the 6th as Fry skies one. Deep left field, back at the wall, looking up, it's gone! The first pitch Bowen threw, and Aiden Fry delivers some early fireworks. The Cropdusters, 5 runs in the 8th, they've torn it open. It's 8-4 Olney after the 3-1 blast from Fry. An absolute explosion.
What a moment for Aiden Fry. As love the first pitch, swinging aggressive, and boy, did he crush that ball.
His first home run of the season. Liam Bowen, 1 pitch, 1 home run. His second pitch was a ball to Brian Scott. It's 1-0.
We talked about how this game basically had everything. Didn't have the home run yet. Aiden Fry fixed that. It would have been awesome if we could spare just a little bit of the fireworks after the home run, like some MLB stadiums do, but we'll have to wait just a little bit longer for those.
We'll be treated to more after potentially just 3 more outs for the Cropdusters. Nobody on, 2-1 count, 1 away for Brian Scott. What an inning for Olney as Scott rolls it over, Erdit short scoop, throw, in time, 2 gone. 5 runs, and it all started with Jimmy Kirk working a 3-2 count after being down 1-2. Leadoff walk. Kel, cleanup spot. We criticized the move. Beautiful bunt. And 5, 6, 7, 8. The bottom of the order does all the work for the Cropdusters. It's the top of the order. First pitch is Akai Hawkins, hits him. He takes first. Runner on with 2 outs. Cade Walter stands in. Second time tonight that Hawkins has been hit by a pitch. He's reached base safely 4 times. Walter yet to reach base. He stands in. R.J. Cromartie will hit for Jimmy Kirk should Walter get on. First pitch, ground ball, third base side. Curry over, throw on the run. In time. No! Drew Foster off the bag. Everybody's confused. It seemed like his foot was on there. Vance Bonnier, the catcher, begging for an appeal.
That does seem to be a missed call. I mean, look like it was a really, really nice play from Foster at first base, but, and I mean, the pitcher can't believe it, and I think he's got a point. I mean, it looked pretty nailed on as an out.
Questionable call from the first base umpire. R.J. Cromartie stands in. Cade Walter reaches base safely. Extends the streak to 14 games. First pitch to Cromartie, called a strike. It's 0-1. 2 men on with 2 outs. Scott on second, or Hawkins on second rather. Walter on first. Walter, well off the bag. Cromartie takes the changeup, puts him down 0-2.
Hawkins bluffed like he was going to steal.
Going into the ninth, when the game's over, we're going to give everybody like a 2-minute warning, and then we're going to turn the lights off. Okay. So that
Swing and a miss. Cromartie chases the off speed. Inning ends, but not without some boom. Olney tallies 5 in the bottom of the 8th. They take a 4-run advantage into the top of the 9th. Gavin Lill, the closer, enters Sandman echoing through First Responders Field, takes the bump.
And it's not technically a save situation, but man, Gavin Lill will treat it as such, as he should. 4-run ball game. The fans are on their feet. This is awesome. And the kids are really trying to, you look at every kid, they're trying to get everybody up, as it's getting a little rowdy at First Responders Field.
This has the feel to a postseason game, doesn't it, Ben?
It's awesome.
Even the Thunderbolts, they're out there nodding their heads like they understand the gravity of the moment. They have a lot of work to do.
And if this isn't, you know, a good advertisement to come back to another Olney game, I don't know what is. Hopefully, you know, we see these stands, not this packed, of course, that's not going to happen, but to an extent, you'd hope so. I mean, this has been a great game. The fans clearly are having a good time, and the fans are a big part of what's put the pressure on the players to have this, you know, when Coach Leader said, we got to win this game, of course a lot of that was because huge in the standings, but they got a sold-out crowd. You know, families are here. They wanted to put on a show for them, and that's exactly what they're doing. So keep coming, keep, you know, the pressure on the players. They will perform if you guys, you know, keep coming in.
Hey fans, again, the Cropdusters fireworks extravaganza will start in about 5 minutes after the game. Be ready to be in your seats. The lights are going to go out in about 2 minutes post-game.
What a game. Top of the 9th. Cropdusters up 4. Gavin Lill taking over on the mound. It's his 7th appearance in his 6th prior. He's tossed 11 in the 3rd, allowed 6 hits and 4 on runs. Struck out 15, only walked 5. He's got a 3.17 ERA. A chance to shut the lights on this contest. Bryce Curry will lead things off for the Thunderbolts. Righty-righty matchup. Lill from the windup. First pitch fastball, just outside, 1-0.
And of course, the emotion will be high for Lill. He's got it, you know, to an extent. stay composed, as he does a great job doing. He lets the emotions go after it's done. Right now, he'll be all business.
A ball and no strikes. Lil fires. Curry fouls it back, evens it up 1-1.
Lil, sits usually around 91, 92. I wonder if we get to a big pitch, what that fastball could get up to.
A ball and a strike. Lil from the windup, kicks, fires. Breaking ball upstairs. It's 2-1. Curry, man, he looks awfully composed at home plate. Not in his head. He looks awfully comfortable, especially for a guy that has struggled all season, hitting just above 100. 2-1 pitch. Inside, Curry takes a powerful strut.
Indeed, it was. Curry trying to, hype himself up. Trying to, again, like put it earlier, be the villain.
Hitters count 3-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball right down Broadway. Curry under it. Count full 3-2.
To simply beat him with a fastball on 3-1. He's got 3 pitches that he can go to here.
Lil. Wind up. Kicks. Fires. Swing and a miss. Curry slams the bat. He chases the slider away. Leadoff man retired. Gavin Lil. His 16th strikeout of the season. There's one gone. Brings in Matthew Kim.
And Lil stays very cool, calm, composed, just walking off the mound. Again, keeping his composure really well, like closers have to do, like relievers have to do. You got to be in control of your heart rate. Can't get too excited. That's how you start messing up your mechanics.
Swing and a miss. Curveball. Kim over top. 0-1. Lil from the windup. Lifts his glove. Kicks. Fires. Slider. Fouled straight back. It's 0-2.
Way ahead, and he's gone soft twice. Could, pitch totally backwards to Kim and go with a fastball if he wants to. Way ahead, no need to give in, though.
0-2 pitch. Lil. Fastball called, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks. There's 2 gone. Josh Hurd stands in. First pitch, just outside. It's 1-0.
Fans are on their feet now. How about a 5-run 8th inning? I mean, what else? That's just great work from them, and now it's Gavin Lil, 1 more out needed.
Almost seems a little underwhelming given the big cushion. Imagine how insane this place would be going if it was a 1 or 2 run game. But I mean, they exploded.
Suffering from success.
1-1 pitch. Lil wind up, kicks, fires, swing and a miss. Beautiful slider. It's 1-2. Crowd on their feet. 1 strike away, 1 out away. The 1-2. Just misses. Slider skips in the lefty batter's box. It's 2-2.
You know what, Gavin? Rear back and let this one go. I mean, come on. Why not? Let it eat.
Gavin Lil, one of the most
off.
friendly, charismatic players on the team. 2-2 pitch to Erd. Called strike 3. Look at Gavin Lil. He strikes out the side, throws the glove. The game is over. Cropdusters storm back in the 8th. And Gavin Lil shuts down the Thunderbolts in the 9th.
And Olney, a signature win. They take it 8-4. Wow, Ben. 3 hours of wow.
No, the only other glove throw towards the dugout I'm familiar with is Jorge Lopez's one after he got ejected as a Met. Very different vibe now from Gavin Lill. He was doing it out of pure passion and energy. What an outing from him. He has been so good recently. You know, his stuff was always good, but it seems like it's been so much more refined these last couple outings. He's gotten 4 pitches to work, that curveball a new addition, and wow, I mean, this Cropduster team, if there was any doubt, they are going to be one to be reckoned with. Clearly they respond well to the postseason atmosphere, and it just makes it so much more exciting if they were to get a home game in the playoffs.
Still a long time to decide that, but Ben, things are looking good for the Cropdusters, and we can expect 3 more intense contests between these two teams. The season series is split 2 each way. Cropdusters have won 2 straight against Silver Spring-Takoma. But if we get anything close to this for the rest of the season, I think you and I will be very happy calling that game as we were calling this one. Absolutely insane 8th inning. Pitching did its job. Cropdusters look dangerous. We're going to leave the stream on for you all at home to enjoy the fireworks show. But for Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick King. We say so long. Cropdusters topple the Thunderbolts 8-4 in a late rally and maintain their spot at second place in the standings. Good night.